feel bad if you came back and saw me getting coached. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, you're right. Godfather, it is that. For Elise is different. What do we need to say in DM if we want joking? If we want joking? I can in like 5 minutes. Gotta boot my PC up. Okay, so Demise will be here in 5 minutes, guys. Let's just keep chatting for now. If you want coaching, what do we need to say? Okay, so if you go to my Discord, join my Discord, which is popped up there. Discord, if that doesn't work, discord.gg/worthytv. It's worthy with a 0. Join in, send me a message, and then we can set up a time. We'll talk about pricing, we'll talk about your goals, figure out what it is that you need, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Been working on trying to be excited about playing with a friend who specifically makes me play in gold, high silver lobbies and bronze, so it used to feel terrible. It should feel amazing, Stonewall. It should feel amazing, because not only do you have an opportunity to play against higher ranked players and, you know, get your mistakes revealed, if you will, it'll help your growth massively, right? When you're playing against competition that is a little bit better, right? So that's a big piece. I think you need to walk into it as a learning experience. And I think the other piece too is, if you're talking about what I was talking about before with how ranks are interchangeable, it's not that big of a difference between gold and bronze. It really isn't. I want to get coaching, but I have no way to record a VOD. I've tried everything. Streamlabs OBS, Streamlabs, it's OBS itself. Fraps, if you want. Fraps is really old. I don't even know if it still has it anymore. You have NVIDIA, the NVIDIA recorder, or whatever that one is called. I can't remember what it's called. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can definitely use. It feels kind of bad though if the gap in ranks is due to big aim. It's not. Zenat, I promise you. How often, guys, do you see me talking about how your aim was the reason why you lost a fight? How often does that happen in these streams? I think I can count it 3 times. 3 times, potentially. Nolies, if you message someone in Discord who's got a little bit more understanding about that kind of stuff, they might be able to help you with that. I'm not a great technological person when it comes to that stuff. I'm just saying, aim carried me to immortal. It can, Raz, it definitely can. But what's keeping you from getting into Radiant? Right? Definitely can carry you, but your aim is a crutch for bad positioning and bad decision making, typically. Yeah, there you are. Demise, how's it going?
Oh, good, and yourself?
Very good, sir. We ended a little bit early. The last VOD was a little shorter than we wanted it to be, but it is what it is. Yep. And we are here now. And were you playing on? Yeah, you were playing on Bind. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So we have another Bind VOD. Sorry, what was that?
It's my most hated map.
Most hated map? Why? It's my favorite map.
It just plays weird. I'm more in favor for like longer range maps, so things like Icebox and Breeze. And a little bit of Fracture.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to add a thing here, guys. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to add a little screenshot image. Perfect. We're going to add the source. We're going to add a source here. Oh, wait. Hang on. What did I just do? Oh, no. Oh, no. What did I do? Oh, no. No. What am I doing? Eliminate this. Delete this. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Holy crap, that was scary. All right, so let me put this here. We're going to add a source. I'm going to go with image. Add source. Add a new source. We're going to call this Ascendant. We'll call it Ass. What's your rank?
Right now it's D3, but during this VOD it was Ascendant 1.
Okay, so we'll just call you Ass1. All right, we're going to add source. And then I'm going to browse my images. Browse my images, and I'm going to actually I need to download. Holy crap! Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, no,
see what you guys are making me do here. Oh. See what I do for you guys. Okay, so you said Ass1,
Ass1, yeah.
Ass1. We're gonna save this image. I'm gonna put it in my CCG thing. See, I'm a friggin' boomer, guys. I'm a boomer when it comes to this stuff. See what you're making me do here. Okay, we're gonna go desktop, CCG images, AS1. We're gonna put that in there. Perfect. And let's see if it pops up now. Oh, oh! Okay. Okay. There it is. AS1. Do you guys want it in the top left corner? You want it in the top right corner? What do you guys want? You want it right there? Is that good? Okay, we'll leave it right there. And then maybe I can even put in something else here. I can put in a source. Let me put in coach student rank. I'll put in student rank. Where is what do I do? Media file, text. We're going to put text in there. We're going to add a source. We're going to add a new one. I'm going to say
upgrade in the stream.
Student rank. We're just going to write that in there. It's going to be really, really crappy. We'll just put it in like this. Student rank. Rank. Beautiful. And then we're just going to put that in there. And then I think it just popped up. Student rank. And I got to zoom in. Let's see what's going on here. Does that work? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, chat. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. So you're AS1 now, okay? And I don't want to hear anything else. You're not going to be diamond. You're AS1. It is what it is. There you go. You happy, chat? Can you make the logo a bit small? Can you make the logo a bit smaller? Like this logo a bit smaller? You don't. I think it looks nice. You don't think it looks nice? Make it bigger in the middle of the screen so people saw it. I know, right? Okay. All right, Demise, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been playing? What are your struggles and what are your goals?
So, I think my biggest struggle right now is mental. I want to rank up, get a little bit better in that area, and then after that, not really sure. Right now it's more short term. But I play for my school's team. That's a little bit hard because I'm Diamond 3, Ascendant 1, and the rest of my team's like all gold plat area, so it's a little bit different there. And so like I'd like to help them learn the game a little bit better, but I also obviously got to work on myself as well. But I think I've played the game off and on. I think there's like a year ago I played for like 2 months. I was like gold 2, and then like 6 months ago I recently really got back into the game, and I was like gold 2, gold 3. Episode 5 came. I hit Ascendant 1 in like an act. So there's that for me.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. I'm making one more adjustment. Is that? I think this is good. Okay. That's probably the best I'm going to be able to get it. No, let's move it to the right here a little bit more. So you're playing for your school team, you said?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have VODs of that, by the way?
I do. They're not really good though, because we just get stomped. I think there was one game I forgot to record, and it was like 11-13 on an icebox match that like me and another guy had to carry pretty hard.
Right. So your team's kind of like all over the place in terms of their skill levels, I guess, or their rank.
Yeah, it's very varied.
Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing one of those at some point, because I think that's the thing is that ranked is a skeleton version of what the actual game really is, right?
Right.
You start playing the game when you're on a team, even if they're not the best skill level, it's still a better environment to look at, because ranked is just so freaking random, right? We get so many different situations. Go ahead.
Well, there's also another aspect there. We have some people that aren't really committed either, so it's off and on. We got this one guy that doesn't show up all the time. It's really strange, and so then we have to get a sub in for actual games, and it's annoying. So like that's what I mean. Like it's kind of hard to do anything kind of planned because we only really got like Monday, Tuesday, and then our game's Wednesday.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I would say that if you're looking to get into a better team environment than that, I would definitely start searching through some discords and get onto that, because that will be the ultimate development for yourself, right? Whether it be mental that you're trying to deal with, comms, anything along those lines. That's going to be the best step for you. Once you've made Ascendant, I technically say that you're at the show now, right? You've made it. You've made it to the
Right.
show. So what is it that you need to do next to be able to make yourself better? And there's going to be a point in time where ranked will reach diminished returns for you. So looking at different options for expanding your horizons with a team is definitely what you're going to be wanting to look at. Okay.
Yeah, it was the same thing with games like Siege for me too. I hit Plat, and it kind of just started to develop like Plat 2-ish area. I started to hit like, oh, it's just team play at this point. It's not really individual mechanics.
Hmm.
It's more like game knowledge, tilt, and how you can deal with those kinds of things.
Yeah, and then tilt's a fun one too because we're going to be diving deep into some life skills here.
Yep.
I haven't touched on a whole lot of these protocols. I've learned most of these from my own life coach. So I'm going to credit Brendan Fox for a lot of the stuff I'm going to teach you here today. And we're going to be talking about a bunch of different protocols that I think you definitely should take the time to rewatch the VOD in these spots and apply it not only in game, but apply it to life as well. Because there's going to be moments in your life, like let's say you're driving down one of the highway series near your place and someone cuts you off. Your immediate reaction is to get angry, right? But what you can do is once you've taken these life lessons in is to examine this moment as oh, I wonder what made him want to do that, right? I always say counter with curiosity. If you counter with curiosity, you'll never get angry. And when you're angry, you make the worst decisions possible. So one of the rules I always say is whenever I'm angry, I walk away from the situation and then come back at it with a more clear mind. Because a lot of these things are not going to make you that much better when you're dealing with emotion, right? I talked about how emotion will bring 80% of your fine motor skills down, crashing down in terms of your overall skill. So go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely see that all the time. Like I'll be in a good mindset, and I'll do like I'll have like the best game of my life, and then 3 games later I get a team that's still queuing, and then the next 4 be like, I don't know what I'm doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then that's the next part, right? Once you're angry or emotional, you lose the ability to make rational decisions. We've talked about that before. Seen Fakey on here, Fakey from Australia, where he pulled out his Raze ult. Did you see that TikTok?
Yes, I think I did. It was on Bind, right? And he was in Lamps, right?
Yeah, that's right. And he pulls out his Raze ult, shoots it, and he's like, what the hell? Why didn't you not die? And then he backs away and gets sniped in the face, right? So you make very irrational decisions when you get into that emotional state. So the key for today is to identify what's happening, what's causing the tilt, and then giving you the power back, putting it back in your corner, giving you the empowerment to be able to deal with those situations. And you got to understand that with the point that I was going to make with ranked is that there's a lot of things that we cannot control, right? We have this kind of ego in our mind that we can control every little element of our life, but the world is so big. The options are so vast, and our limited perception is not enough to be able to interpret why things happened the way they did. We just need to accept the fact that they did happen that way, and we have to move on at that point. So being able to empower yourself with that perspective is going to be game-changing for you. So we're going to talk about some specific things. One of them being the truth compass, okay? That's one of our learning objectives. The truth compass is being able to look at a situation, and we're actually going to have another example of this on the next VOD as well with Katana coming in. The truth compass is being able to look at the perspective of the situation that happened from a bird's eye view and realize that my original perception was probably incorrect, right? And it was incorrect for these reasons. And this is where VOD review really comes in. Whenever you're tilted and you have a recording of the last game, I definitely say step away for a second, go for a walk, come back in with a more open growth mindset, and really take a look at why certain things happen, so that you're not going to just come at it with this one-dimensional view of I was right and that's it, right? Because as soon as you start thinking you were right all the time, you're not going to be able to grow, right?
Yeah.
So the truth compass, okay? You're already kind of tilted already, because you just said, why do I have 2 Europeans on my team? You should be like, oh, this is awesome. I get to play with 2 people from Europe. This is great, right? Maybe I can make some friends with people in Europe, right? That's what I would say. Well, go ahead.
I don't know. I think it's just like bias from games I've played with other people before. Like, because I know like from playing in European servers myself, it's like a mixed bag of different people, and they all get like really mad, and then they'll start talking in their own language. You can't understand them, and they'll just flame you in that language. And I think it happens later in this game, and it's happened to me before multiple times over and over again. So that's kind of like, it's a bias thing.
You know what's weird is that it's funny because I got all of these like life lessons I've learned from my coach that are coming into play. And one of the things that he mentioned to me was that, is it possible that with certain perspectives and certain energies that you put out into the universe, that it's more likely that stuff will be attracted to you, right?
Yes, and I think that's like another thing with like a representation of your 5 closest friends kind
Yeah.
of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true though. What you put out into the universe, you'll receive in kind. So the first thing you said right away was, it wasn't necessarily a racist thing, but it was sort of an energy that you're like, this is my expectation of what's going to happen because of my past experiences, right? But there's nothing telling us that Yuta here or Jet are going to be negative people. We've just started the game. In fact,
Right.
if you're feeling that way, you should immediately counter and say, hey, Yuta, Jet, where are you guys from? Welcome into the game. I'm excited to play with you. Can you imagine if you had that kind of conversation right away, how much the ball would start rolling in a positive way, right?
Yeah.
Start attacking it like that. Think about, how can I be outwardly positive to this? And if they're going to be negative, then just cut them off. Just mute them right away. It's not a big deal. You don't need that shit in your life, right? You don't need that negative energy in your life. Just be positive with it. Jump right into it, okay?
So mute them if they're negative. Like, it doesn't matter if they're not calming or not calming.
Doesn't matter. You said right away, you know, they might not even use your language anyway, so you're not going to get much out of it. So just mute them,
true.
right? We just watched in the last VOD, you didn't get to see it, someone call out, oh, he's hookah, and then the person swings out and the person was long, right? It's like, how many times do you get really, really bad comms in ranked? It happens all the freaking time, right? So I'm totally okay with you hopping into a ranked match and just muting people right away if you have to. Right? Just mute them, make sure that you can talk to them, but make sure you're talking to them in a positive light all the time. You always want to be a beacon of light and be a leader as much as you can.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, I think that's another note I put down too. I'd like thinking about the game afterward.
And I call that the friendly communicator, right? So the friendly communicator is something I learned from sales, and it also came from working the phone, right? I used to work the phone in a collections office. Not necessarily the most nice phone calls you get because people owe you money. So you gotta put on a smile while you're communicating, right? You're like, by the way, you owe me like $1,000 here. You're gonna have to send it to me this way. How's your day today, right?
Yeah,
so,
working retail's the same way. It's always like, it's a two-faced thing. It's like you gotta be stern, but you also gotta be nice. It's kind of like a two-faced thing, you know?
Yeah. Noli says getting tilted is okay. Just learn how to work through it. I mean, try to avoid it, but if it happens, work it out. Yeah, just try to work it out. Slow down. Think about what you're thinking about. Why are you thinking the way that you're thinking? Is your perception 100% correct? I would guarantee you most of the time it's not, right? There's been many times where I've seen, why didn't this guy peek out? Oh, by the way, he was flashed. I didn't notice that, right? After reviewing that, now I understand. So I shouldn't have blown up on that person at all, because we haven't walked 1,000 steps through these people's shoes, right? These 2 Europeans that just hopped in the server, they didn't ask to be put here, right? I don't think they did, or they did, so it happened, right?
Well, I mean, the game's region locked though. That's
so they had to have done a VPN.
Yes.
At that point. Okay, fair enough. So maybe they weren't getting enough games, and they really wanted to get some games in on this particular day, and that's fine. Let them play. Let them play, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
If they want to peak with 143 ping, then that's fine. You can't control that. So anyways, so the big pieces here, the next point I was going to make with all the phone call shit was the friendly communicator. And I talked about this with a student on Thursday. I'm not sure if you've heard me talk about this before. It's a good protocol. It's when you are talking to someone through a voice communicating system. People communicate through body language, and they communicate through facial structure and how you're speaking. Okay, your tonality and whatnot. But it's mostly through those two things. Okay? The rest of it is language. So the problem is when you're on voice chat, you eliminate these two things right away, and you only have your voice. So when you're speaking to people online, especially 5 people that you don't know, right? Imagine you walked up to people on the street and you said, "Oh, you're European. how would they react?
Probably not too well.
Yeah, probably not great, right?
Gonna respond with anger.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's going to be a downward spiral. You might get into a fist fight, all this other stuff, right? So it's no different than if you were to do it right here. So it's not going to be great. So you want to make sure that you're a friendly communicator. And the way that you do that is first choose the words that are going to be outwardly positive, which you talked about, but also be able to speak in a tonality that's going to be acceptable, that they're going to understand, because they can't see your face. They don't understand your intention. And their immediate response, typically in this day and age, is to go on the defensive and assume the worst out of what you're saying. So what you need to do is speak with a smile. If you start smiling, you'll sound a little bit happier as you're talking, okay?
Right.
Open your mouth a little bit wider. I noticed when you came onto the call already, you were a little bit more down in tone. Totally fine. Men are down in tone usually. But what you need to do is open your mouth a little bit wider. I learned this from a vocal coach. If you open your mouth a little bit wider, the volume, the sound will travel a little bit further, and therefore you'll have a more commanding voice at that point, which is going to be a little bit more understandable and easier to communicate with. Okay, so those are the two things that I always recommend. So that's a friendly communicator. The other piece is that ego is holding you back, right? Ego is a tough thing because you might not even realize that it's happening, but you have a fantastic shot, man. Like you were up there. We're going to see some shots here that you hit. This is like, wow, your raw adjustment is like perfect. We don't need to work on that at all. So the issue is that because you have a great belief in yourself, which I think you need to have, you also need to understand that there's sometimes in this game that you just need to park it and run away, right? Sometimes you miss an initial shot. You should just accept that you miss a shot and move away. And that's going to serve you a whole lot more than you sitting there trying to crouch and take a fight. Okay.
I think we see it here this first round too.
Probably will. We'll take a look. I think the reason why it happens this round is because you didn't have your TPs active, but we're going to talk about that specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Actually, that might have been another VOD. So the other piece too is your role as a lurker, right? And your role as a chamber, right? The rules and roles of the lurker. Go ahead.
That's something I'm still trying to figure out and like kind of fine tune myself. I know that's something I need to work on.
It's patience. It's a lot of patience. That's the lurker is not an easy role because, especially with someone like you, which I would say that you're a very aggressive player. You want to take fights and all that good stuff. Being a lurker can be a little bit of a challenge because you're like, oh, I really want to get in there and help. But you staying alive is far more effective, right? I often say the rule of the lurker and the rule of the anchor is to exist, right? If you exist, you already have impact. You just don't even realize it. Most people think of impact as how many frags do I have on the scoreboard. But impact can also be how I'm controlling showers. And this entire pathway into the bomb site right now is completely covered so that my teammates that are running in here don't ever have to worry about showers. They only have to worry about short and U-Haul when I'm retaking. Does that make sense?
So here, yeah, so like here, instead of peeking out and getting aggressive, you want me to take like a passive aggressive angle, so like take an off angle up against this wall and just kind of hold for the push.
You could do that. Yeah, you could do that if you stay alive and just hold showers on a post-plant situation. That's more of what I was talking about. Let's say that you've taken a fight here, you win this fight, and then you hold showers. You now have a foothold on this particular ground, this particular pathway into the bomb site. Instead of you peeking out and rushing out of showers to fight a guy, then you would live a little bit longer and you'll be able to exist in that position. That is passive impact, right? Passive impact is something that's very underrated, not talked about a lot. And because it's not talked about a lot, people usually just think about scoreboard as the only form of impact they can possibly get onto a round, right? So we'll talk about that specifically. Okay, so let's get into it. That was impressive, okay? Because I have never seen a chamber get to this position that fast, where he's up on that box, right?
I think if you run there, the people in showers can't hear you. Okay. I've done it before too.
I've never seen anyone get up to that height on this particular angle. I've seen people get to this point. Okay, so maybe this is something new. But what I assumed was that Brimstone stimmied him into this position. I could be wrong, but that's what I was thinking might have been the case. So you're saying that you could get there?
Yeah, because you don't see them stim there with the beacon because they get the little particle effect around them. I think you just knife run there and just pray that they don't run out.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first time, because like he even threw a TP down as well, which was impressive at that point. So I didn't think the timing was right. So here in this example, okay, so this is not bad. You could wait for post plant here. You could have waited for post plant there. You could just have, say, everyone fall back and this is reflank or anything along those lines. This is where communication comes in. I'm not sure what you end up saying here. I think you just say numbers, right?
Say.
Trap destroyed.
So yeah, as soon as they're in sight, here's your options. And
Right.
it's my role here today is to give you as many options as possible so that you can have better decisions making later on, right? And not to say that my option is the only way, or you know, this is something that you must do, because this is totally fine. This fight could have worked for you as well. But what's another thing you could have done here?
Probably still just hold that shower door in case they lurk up. Because you see me kind of like freak out when I hear that TP. I look behind me to realize it's the Brim, and then I go back to this angle and I die immediately.
Well, once you realize that it was Brim, right? I was gonna say, why don't you just go with Brim and flank on short? And start a reflank. That would be another option that you have, right? You don't necessarily have to stick to the fight. Go ahead.
I'm thinking of more staying there to help the Reyna.
Yeah.
In this point in time, and that's like I'm kind of like anchored to my TP right now mentally, so that's why I'm staying there as well. Even though like if I TP out, I'd probably die anyway. But
Well, and that was going to be my next point, right? So you don't necessarily have to be here, right? I think you make a good point trying to defend your Reyna. So let's watch what happens. So as soon as this happens, where you're losing this fight, you need to immediately hit your TP, because it's the only chance you have of living at the point, right?
right.
So this is where I was saying, where the ego kind of comes in, we want to stick to the fight. It's like, as soon as something bad happens, right? Whenever you have a first, this is like 2-second decision, but whenever you initially take damage like that, just TP right away.
Yeah, I think I was more caught off guard and wasn't really a reactionary thing. I was still trying to like prepare myself for the fight.
Fair enough. Yeah, it happens. There's going to be other moments where this one was a tougher one to really generate that thought process, but there's going to be other moments where, let's say that you swing out on someone and your crosshair placement isn't quite right. That's where you're like, okay, immediately TP, this fight's not going to go well, right? So on that initial peak, your crosshair placement should be right on their head. You hit the shot, you're good to go. If you don't have that opportunity, if you're off by a mile and you have to raw adjust to that person to get to that headshot, you're probably dead when you're playing as a high level player. So that's where you're going to be like, as you get punished by better players or like literal aimbots, you'll be like, I needed to TP earlier, right? Anyone who comes out here and body shots you 4 times, that's like a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Yep.
Spike planted.
Now we're cooking.
Okay, so the next round we're going to watch, your raw adjustment is insane.
Is that not on his head?
Get ready for this one, chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't have to flatter me like this, man.
I don't do enough of this with students, so take it while you can.
Does anyone have funds?
The other piece too is you need to understand bare ass minimum, right? Your bare ass minimum is, on this round, we just want to do as much damage as we can. If we do a ton of damage to them economically, this is going to hurt them in the next round. It's going to make us easier for us to win the next round. We talk about that often, right? So having a, yeah, look at this, beautiful, beautiful, and I love this too, because you know that he did it last round, so this was going to be a possibility. So your crosshair placement was ready for it, and your raw adjustment was great for it too. All right, perfect. Couldn't ask for a better play, and you fall back, which is another great move. Okay, so bare ass minimum would say if we can get 2 more kills here, that would be fantastic. That would be a round win for us. So we want to be able to do things or make moves that's going to benefit you and your team to be able to get that happening. We don't necessarily have to win the round. If we win the round, it's a bonus. So now you're in a situation where it's a 1v4. Very low chance you're going to win this. Bomb timer's going down, right? So what you need to think about is, how do I do as much damage to the enemy team as I possibly can? That's all that matters at this point.
Teleport's ready.
So you're just looking for frags. You're just looking for frags at this point. Okay? What could you have done differently there?
Probably taking it slower. I still have an entire bomb timer. Or maybe even going around to long, showing presence hookah and then rotating out, kind of faking him out. Wait for the TP because I got 3 seconds on it, even though I wasn't really thinking about it at the time.
Yeah. You would think about it if you accepted the fact that you've lost this round and all you're trying to do is kill them. That's all you're trying to do. Try to kill one. If you can kill one, that's great. If you can kill two, that's amazing, right?
Right.
So you're not going for the round win anymore. You've already accepted the fact that I have to kill 4 people and still have 7 seconds to defuse this bomb. Very unlikely, even with a marksman in hand. Very unlikely, right? So I'm going to take a couple seconds here. I'm just going to deathmatch. I'm just deathmatching now. I'm just deathmatching. TP's out. Cool, let me swing out. Let me take a couple angles here. Let me see what's going on. I'm trying to individualize fights and then take the fight. Okay? So I would say the TPs being out would be able to allow you to take one more fight.
Let's get these idiots.
Take exit frags. Godfather's got it right. That's why I hate when my team does a lurk on anti-eco. Yeah, you typically take your numbers on anti-eco. Take your numbers, take your advantage, your gun advantage, and then work together on that. Okay, this round I talked about holding showers again. This all making sense so far, Demise?
Yep.
And a lot of these things were like here's your options, right? Because like I said, you've already made it to the show. So I'm just giving you as many options as you possibly can and ways to think about situations. And it's not impossible to do this. It may seem like 2020 hindsight, but it's not, right? Because your mentality should shift as you're looking up to that mini-map, or not mini-map, but you're looking at your mini-map, but also looking at your rearview mirror, right? Your rearview mirror is telling you that this round is pretty much impossible to win, like very low percentage. So the only way that I can do get a small victory out of that round is to get as much damage done as possible as I can.
Are we still talking about last round?
Yeah, we're talking about last round.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this one is about holding showers. Let's just see what happens here.
Okay, so yeah.
Good. Fall back. I would just look right away to here and just control this lane. Make sure that's
Right.
controlled and safe, and then you can return back to the spawn. Or return back to the site.
And now I'm out in the open and just die because of it.
Right. What was the other thing? I mean, this one's definitely like tough to be able to pick up on right away. But what could you have done here because you got forced out in the open?
Probably backed up to the box where my TP overlines and just TP away.
Well, you're actually in line with it right now, so you could have TP'd right there, I believe.
Well, there's a safer option by the bench there. I think it was sticking out. I had that thought in my head, and then I got mollied off. So then I just kind of ran out, praying to get 2 or whatever.
Yeah, I think the issue here was that this is kind of like, I talk about going for the TikTok clip, right? You got the first kill.
Yeah, that's what I do here, pretty much.
Yeah, you made a decision to go for more. This was kind of like a greed move, but it's also a little bit of an ego move, because right now it's 5v4. You've got your advantage. Let them go onto site, let them plant, right? And then play that retake at that point. The way that I like to think about it is that when they're challenging for space, if you kill someone, they have purchased that space, right? That's the way you got to think about it. So for example, if you're in showers, let's go up to Val plant, and they're challenging you on showers.
Right.
This is like a defensive mindset. There's other players that think differently as well. Like some people think aggressive like you and just like peek, 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 and that's totally fine. If it works for you, that's fine. But I always think about playing the numbers. So let's say, for example, you've got, 3 people coming into showers and you killed this jet. You have 2 options. You re-peek and you fight the KO. Or you say, okay, well, it cost you 1 life to take this space. I'm going to let you take the space now. Okay, and I'm going to play back here. And then when you peek into me again, I'm going to take another fight that's going to be advantageous to me, right? So what I usually say is that my space here that they're trying to purchase from me is worth minimum 1 life. If I can get the 1 life, then I can fall back with a TP. I'm good to go. They can take that space at that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, would doing damage equivalent to like killing somebody be enough too there?
Yeah.
To, like, so let's say I do 160 to, or like 80 to 2 people, and then I just TP out.
That's great.
That'd be like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So kind of just repositioning after showing yourself, sort of.
Yeah, the way I like to think about it, I'll write it out for you, is that on defense, we're toll booth operators. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. Spooky Culture, Ninja Monkey 438. Thank you so much for coming by. If you have any questions, feel free to fire away in the chat. I'd love to chat with all of you guys. Sorry if I'm not paying full attention right now as I'm going through this, but you are a toll booth operator when you're on defense. That's the way you want to think about it. So we want to tax the enemy team on multiple different things. You mentioned damage as being one of them. Totally a good one, right? It might cost them a certain amount of damage to all their buddies here to be able to take this space on showers. What's another thing we can tax them on?
Util, shields, lives. I think even showing presence and then like leaving can
Map
be enough too.
control. You got it. Map control, right? The fear of I can always be here. Map control. And what does that end up taxing ultimately when you have map control? My most favorite one.
You burning time.
Starts with a T, ends with an I'm. Yeah, time. Right? Time is the most important one. So you're a toll booth operator on defense. So when you're fighting for map control, you're thinking about what can I spend or what can I make them spend? Right? Util, I didn't write that in yet, but what can I make them spend to take this space? Right? So if they're coming in, let's say that we're playing kind of like how Honeybun was playing in the last game, guys. If we're playing like she was playing far back. Now, obviously she has utilities, so it's a little bit different situation. Let's say that you're right here and you let them come into sight. We've taxed them on nothing and they've just taken space for free. Right? So it's kind of like in football too, right? You don't want them to just take yardage, right? You want to try to defend them so that they're not moving into that position where they can score a touchdown easier. The closer they are to the end zone, the easier it's going to be to score that touchdown. So if you're just going to let them take all this space, you're just going to play in your end zone and say, oh, just come to me, guys. It's okay, no worries, right? You want to fight them the entire field. So if you're going to go into this position right here and you're falling back, you've given them all the space for nothing. And this is where they start util dumping into the site. So the first fight ends up happening in the site as opposed to out here where you're map controlling. So the point being, this was a long-winded answer for you. The point being is that you got your first kill. Let them take the space. They have sight. They have the front sight. That's fine. And the great thing about this positioning right now is they don't even have the back sight control. They've only taken the front because of how they smoked. So they can't even push through their smokes right now because we have full control, full foothold on the back side of site right now, which is huge. And you have foothold on showers. So they only have one lane into the bomb site. When a team only has one lane into the bomb site for post plant, it is a shit show for them. They do not feel comfortable at any point in time. So not only do you have numbers, but you have map control on them. There is no reason whatsoever for you to take a second fight here. Fall back
and then
and control space. Sorry, go ahead.
Die because of it. I just died because of it, pretty much.
Yeah. Now, could you have still won this round? Who knows? You being alive, I'd rather you be alive than anyone else on this team. Because I know that you can pull some shit off with your shot. Anything could happen, right? But you need to think about, how do I maintain map control? How do I tax the opponent? And once you start thinking that way, your defense side is going to be that much easier to win rounds on. Have a good stream, Raz. Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Raz. Thanks for coming out. It's tough because once the first one dies, everything else becomes more aware. Ready to one-tap you. Yeah, well, yeah. If you're going to peek out from a spot that you killed someone from, they're definitely going to be looking towards you, right? So if you just exist, right, the rule of the lurker, rule of the anchor, in that case, you were the anchor because you're furthest left. You need to stay alive as long as possible. Okay. Whenever you're playing against a chamber, we have to assume the trip is down. Okay?
Right.
Assume the trip is down. I love, whenever you're on an eco round or whenever you're playing aggressive, to just break that trip. Break it, no matter what. Even if you're worried that they know you're there or anything along those lines, break it. Because if they put 5 towards B and you break that trip, all of a sudden that 5 turns into 4 because one person has to watch the flank at that point, right? That makes it easier. That's passive impact right away for your team who are defending B site, because now it's a 3v4 versus a 5v3. Okay?
Right, and it goes back to that map control thing and makes them kind of aware of your presence, but not really at the same time.
Stepbro Hickey, what are your thoughts on buying shield on eco? On eco, probably not. If you're talking about the difference between buying heavy armor versus light armor, depends on your rank as well. Because if you're playing against, you know, high level Radiants, if you're playing against Tens, you're playing against Shroud, you're playing against Yay, these guys are gonna hit their headshots, right? If you're playing in a silver, bronze, iron, even up the way to plat and diamond, you could probably benefit from doing heavy armor because they're probably not going to hit their shots all the time. They're going to body shot you. So the amount of hits that you take to the body versus a light armor for a full armor, it's going to be worth buying that full armor. If you're going to do it on an eco, I don't think it's quite worth it, but it depends. If everyone's doing something specific for that, you would probably find an option to do that. But I would say if you're playing on your own, it's better to just save your money at that point. Okay, so break the trip.
Right.
This is the moment. Just break it. What's the worst that can happen if you break it?
I got swung out on and die.
Fine. You're on eco.
Yeah.
You're on eco, right? This now opens up 2 pathways, right, to their flank. So they kill you. That doesn't mean that it's fully clear, right? Unless they've seen everyone on site. Right?
I think
I'm
they
gonna
have.
go in elbow and alt plant.
What's that?
If they get in.
I said I think they have.
Sage.
I thought I heard the Sage slow orb.
I'll swing at you, Sage. Ah, nice.
Okay, so now you're lurking. Now you just need to exist here. Because now you're having passive impact, right?
On site, on site, on site.
They're worried about you here. They're worried about you here. They could be on hookah. They could be on hookah. Gun out, gun out, gun out, gun out.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, you're not.
Spike down.
Cool, they're all long.
Spotted B.
Chases that.
This round went really well.
Yeah, spike, guys. Yeah,
Oh,
one side,
yeah. Fast. Yo, let me heal you.
So this is where, if we have bomb down, what you need to do is check money or ask your dead players to check money and see if it's worth chasing this person. Because let's say that they have like a sheriff only, right?
Right.
Do we want them to get $1,000 or do we want them to get $1,900? Let's give them 1,000, right? Let them live. Keep their sheriff.
Right. But here I think they have a Vandal.
They do have a vandal.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
But you still need to ask the question, should we make them save here? Because let's say that they're going to have 2,900. You need to always be looking at all these options. Is it better for them to have the 1,000 or is it better to have the vandal? Is it better to have this? Is it better to have that? Ask those questions. Be active about it. Most of the time, I'd say chase the person, kill them.
Right.
10 seconds left.
And you can just hit tab yourself and take a look at it. And at the very least, if you hit tab, you can go back on your VOD afterward and you can say, oh yeah, I probably should have chased there.
Never count out the underdog.
So, wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Actually, it would have been nice to kill him. But either way, it wouldn't have mattered because they had won 4 rounds at that point. Or 3 rounds at that
Yep.
point.
That works.
I think going into the round they had like 7k each.
So an ME FPS student rank is a good addition. This is something that chat forced me to do today, so I did it on the fly. So you were saying there?
Sorry?
I think you just said something, I didn't hear it.
I said I think they had 7k going into that last round.
Yeah. See, that was good. This is what I'm talking about. You knew that fight wasn't going to go well, so you just got out of there, right? We need
Right.
more of that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I know I do that a lot with the jet knives. I just continue to take that fight even after it's losing.
Yeah.
Nice, Sage. I get alt plant.
And that's a sign of you dropping ego and playing like a good peak sort of thing, right? So anyways, let's go to this fight. How are you
Yep.
feeling on this peak?
I'm more there to help the jet. That's what my thought was going into it, because I'm getting pushed from behind me. I'd rather kill the guys pinching me and help this jet, make it a potential 2v3 or 2v2.
Your thought process is right, but how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I wasn't really sure of the fight, probably.
I get alt plant.
Not really sure what I was thinking here, like emotions of how secure it was, because I hadn't had the opportunity to calm that I was coming to help him, so he kind of just swung and died. I feel like if I calmed that, it may have been would have been better. So yeah, I could like swung off contact or something.
But how were you feeling?
I get
So
ult plant.
your thoughts are right. You're completely fine. But I want to know why we rushed the peak. I want to know why we rushed this fight. I know what you're saying. You're saying you wanted to trade with them. You're completely correct. I just want to know what made you swing like this rather than swinging out individually and peeking on angles. Or was there pressure that you felt? Were you feeling anxiety from someone coming behind you? Like, was there something going on there?
I was just worried about the push from behind me because I saw the Reyna and I think it was Fade. No, it was Brim there. Reyna and Fade. So I was just worried about the pinch.
Okay, so you was rushed because of a pinch. Fair enough.
Oh my god.
Face your fear!
I'm pushing CT.
For the reason why I bring it up is that it felt like it was a little rushed. Do you know what I mean?
That's how my thought process was going into it. I kind of felt like it was going really fast there,
One triple.
and I was like,
Player standing.
I had to save the round here almost.
Yeah, you had to make a play.
Let's say that Jet dies, then it's pretty much wraps on the round because I get pinched, and then it gets what a 3v2 retake, and that's with the Sage and Reyna, which is really hard for them to do. You have 2 blinds.
Let's move ahead. All right, so this next round is about setting up your fight for success.
Good one.
Okay. And it's like one of those things, you have a good job of doing it at the beginning of the round, which there's some students that don't even do it at all, but you set your TPs up all the time, which is great. But I feel
Yeah,
like
I think
you're
there
mid... Go ahead.
I think there are a few times I forget, but they're few and far between. But
Yeah, your initial pre-round plan is better than most, right? But I think your mid-fight planning with your second layer of TPing is where we are leaving a little bit to be desired. Okay, I can't remember this round exactly, but let's see. Always have an escape route. Always have a plan of action to get out of a situation if it doesn't go your way. And the other piece, don't be afraid to switch it up. I feel like you're getting into a little bit of a routine with the showers control. Let's get you to do some B site takes or defenses as well. Flip around and say, hey, do you mind if I play B here? I'm gonna do this. Can you do this for me? Can you smoke this for me? We have another comp where we have no controller. I'm just noticing. Oh no, we do have a controller. Sorry, I was gonna say the last VOD we had no controller. So at any rate, Brimstone, can you smoke here so I can play this way? You know, or anything along those lines. When you're getting into these ranks, the difference between getting into Ascendant and Radiant is asking for utility a lot of the times, right? Opening up the doors to getting people to do things for you and enable you, right? So
yeah.
what are you gonna say?
I'm just agreeing with you. I think there are times though, like I ask for those kinds of things and they just fall through on it. So then I'm relying on them to do it, and then I die because of it.
I would like to see how you're asking for it, right? If we're talking about the friendly communicator and how you're communicating, like, hey, Brim, I want to do this. Do you mind smoking here for me, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's coming in.
I have to see how you're doing it. Anyways, your TPs, where are they?
Nowhere.
Yeah, this is the mid-fight TPs I'm talking about. Always create an escape route for you. Otherwise, you're not playing Chamber anymore. You're playing a different character altogether. I don't know who it is, but it's someone who can't TP. Okay. So
Yeah.
So your main objective as a Chamber is always have an escape route so that you're taking better fights and whatnot.
Yeah, I think after the rendezvous nerf, I just kind of forgot about the mid-round TPs because it used to be better, and then they changed the time to 30 seconds.
I don't want to waste my ult. I don't want to waste my ult.
Be very, you're fine here, but be very careful of the Venn diagram issue. You ever seen that before? Yeah, we have.
Oh yeah, it happens to me. But it happens to me.
Yeah,
That's like when I rush placing TPs.
Yeah, just be very careful of that. I've seen it happen in a VOD before. It wasn't nice.
One enemy.
Good.
Nice.
See, you chose to live in the last fight instead of committing. A lot of people, this is actually a really good lesson for everyone in chat. A lot of people would say, okay, I'm gonna hit this headshot, and then they go, oh shit, I missed, and then I'm gonna stay out here and just keep fighting. You chose life. You said I'm gonna stay alive even though I have a 30 HP. You chose life here.
Oh, I don't know what's wrong.
And then because you chose life, you take another fight that was a little bit more advantageous for you.
Spike planted.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you got that kill. So there's never a point in time, guys, even if you're at 30 HP, even if you're at 1 HP, you can still have an impact on the round. Choose life.
Nice one, boys.
Yeah, I do that with when I have the opportunity to help. I do the same thing. It's like if I whiff that shot, I'll pull out the head on her, maybe shoot 3 shots, back away, and then wait for a little bit, and then kind of retake it so that they're worried about other angles as well, and not just that one.
Yes, definitely. Sepro, Hickey says, you have so much to live for. It's so true. Clouds for Days, sorry, I didn't see your message. I've been following on TikTok, saw you on my recommended, had to come in and see the tips live. Thank you so much for coming in, Clouds for Days. How are ya? If you have any questions, feel free to fire away in chat. Okay, so this round, once again, we talked about it in the previous round, asking for util, right?
Here, I could have asked for like a smoke to the left or right, doesn't matter.
Get into the habit.
Instead.
Sorry, get into the habit. Let me just listen to this again. Someone's insisting on vacuum upstairs right now. Get into the habit at the beginning of every round to announce threats to your team so that they're reminded that they shouldn't be in certain spots. For example, this Reyna right now is sitting in the middle of a Brimstone ult. Right? You have a responsibility to all your teammates to make them do the best that they can. Okay? You also have not calmed Chamber up as an opportunity to be picked off by. So let's see what Jet does.
Let's play.
Oh, he didn't do it. Okay, I thought Jet might peek out into this long angle right here and fight that Chamber up, right? That could have been a possibility. So just reaffirming at the beginning of the round, Chamber up, Brimstone ult, watch out for this. That would help a lot. And now this Reyna dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing. It's very easy to blame our teammates for doing stupid shit. What we need to do is take extreme ownership for everything that happens in the game. You could have said something, right? Had you said something, this would have been avoided altogether, right? Potentially. Yeah. He might have said, well, fuck you, I'm European, I know what I'm doing, right? maybe that's what he's gonna do, right? But at least you made the comment, we don't need to talk about it, and I would have given you an applause for that. Hell, I'm gonna do it anyway because you learned something new today, okay? So, important at the beginning of the round, I talk about this all the time, set up for success, make sure that you're hitting your tab, see what's there, what you need to worry about, and just make that quick little calm, say, hey, by the way, peeking long B right now against the Chamber Op's probably not going to be healthy for you, right? Okay, cool, I won't do that. Just remind them, because people are stupid, and they make mistakes like this all the time, so we got to make sure that we kind of hold their hand a little bit. We got to remember that Chamber Op is still on the field.
Right.
Okay. So, what is...
Just,
go ahead.
I think it's just carelessness there. I'm more worried about trying to get the guys like swinging away from the Brim ult after trying to get the plant down, and then I just carelessly swing into the Chamber Op there.
And this is where asking for utility comes in, because you could have asked for what?
Smoke, showers, or even closer.
Yeah. In fact, watch what he's about to do.
Smoke's down.
Oh, geez, thank you for the smoke, Brimstone. Could have used that on my peak a few seconds ago, but whatever. I guess I'll just eat one for the team, right? So, little things like this, just ask for it. See if you can get enabled. Remember, these people are enabling you, right? You're enabling them for giving them space, but they're enabling you too to be able to make that a little bit easier for you. Take a second, look up your minimap, see who's alive, see who can ask for things, right?
Right.
And let it happen. Back in Counter-Strike, you didn't have to worry about that. You just toss your smoke out, you're good. right?
One enemy remaining.
Yeah.
This game's a little bit more complicated. Okay, let's move ahead.
It's okay, it's okay.
This round is the juice worth the squeeze? I love these moments. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Can I buy someone Vandal?
That works. Out of range.
I'm only B3, close to silver. A lot of times I never have a chamber on my team. I heard having him on team increases win rate. So Chamber's advantage really is his ult. His big ult allows for economy on your team to go a little bit more smoothly because you don't need to buy a primary weapon and you can buy for someone else. That's one of the main reasons why you want to have a chamber. The second reason is that his trip basically acts as a surrogate player. So him having a trip on a certain spot, they never have to worry about showers, for example. Right, so those are the two major benefits of having chamber. Obviously, as well, the TPs are pretty damn good too, because if a fight like this does not go well, which we're going to talk about, he can get out of that situation really quickly and live to fight another day. So there's a lot of really good things when it comes to chamber altogether. He's basically two players and he's an economy dump. So having chamber, I would say 100% will definitely increase your win rate just because of his overall effectiveness. So this is the angle where I say, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because what happens if they swing you on your left right now?
Yeah, I die pretty much. But here I think I even have the thought, it's like, oh, I'm overstaying my welcome and I TP out.
Yeah, you definitely did, but let's see how long it takes here.
It takes
3,
like 10 seconds.
4,
I think it's
5,
boys.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching this, I'm like a little stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to me. So I know what you're trying to do, but you're banking on a lot of things going well and right for you. What you could do, if you really want to play that angle, is what? Same lesson we just learned from the last round. You can do it. I believe you.
It's escaping my mind. Asking for util,
You
right?
got it. Asking for utility. Hey, Brimstone, I'm going to do something a little silly here. Do you mind smoking my left-hand side off for a couple seconds and maybe throwing a molly down or something like that just so I can be, you know, alive a little bit longer? Or, hey, Sage, I want to play this double stack, but I don't quite like the angle. Why don't you come over here and help me out by tossing a wall right along this point right here? Let's see. Put a wall right here so that I can peek on top of the wall and just go like right here. And that way having another escape route so I don't have to worry about the left-hand angle. Ask for utility. Ask for utility. There's lots of different options, right? Things that you can play around with. We used to use that wall all the time in beta.
Outside short.
Yeah,
Or
but now
outside.
you can just jump over it.
Yeah, of course they can. But you want to use that wall primarily to take a peek that is going to be a little dangerous, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why you want to use that wall is for that reason,
One
right?
late hookah. Two late hookah. Jet has a good spot. Wait, in front of you, Sage. In front of you. Inside.
I think
Is
you
your
hear me
trip-
get mad about that smoke.
Okay. Before the smoke. Yeah, your trip is outside here. So you are now exposed. Obviously, probably not going to be from this one because we're at a higher rank. They're not going to swing on you. There's a chance they could. But you're exposed to two angles. So eliminate the angles if you can. Especially as an op.
I mean, they definitely still swing the smokes in this rank.
Wait, in front of
I see it all the time on things like Ascent and Icebox.
They just did right there.
Yep.
you. Nice try.
Eliminate the angles that you can be killed from. Can they be all the way in CT right now?
Yes.
Okay, gun out.
Brim was on side already.
Okay, wait.
Fade was in.
One is on me, one is on me.
Spike
Fade
planted.
is hookah, fade is hookah.
Feizuka, one's on site.
Sabrina.
You can move up.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. Left on the hookah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean there? Yeah. Okay, so it's Fade still hookah? No, probably long.
Hookah.
Elbow maybe?
Yep,
Oh, long.
there you go.
Nice.
Cool.
Switch up, boys.
Yeah, that was a little stressful there. A little stressful there.
Well, I want to see, because I don't know if I was looking at the guy's CT or not. Do you know when the guy's CT died? Because I may have been looking that during the round.
Focus short.
Yeah. I think it's like before I started rotating that I saw him die.
When's the late hookah?
So I had a security of CT being somewhat clear.
Wait, in front of you, Sage, in front of you. Inside.
Okay, they're out on site at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Okay, let's count in our heads. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,005, 1,006, 1,000. They could be there.
Yeah.
They could.
Someone's on site already.
Okay, wait.
They could be in that smoke.
One is on me.
Spike
Fade
planted.
is hookah, fade is hookah.
They could be elbow.
He smoked off.
Yeah, I'm definitely more worried about smoke and elbow, though. Right, but yeah, I see what you mean.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. Last one was hookah, I think. Could've moved.
Was hookah.
My point is this.
Yeah, I pull out the knife to get behind cover, but I'm also swinging into multiple angles. And they're calling.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's just an issue. But Yuta is calling out.
Brim was on site already.
Okay, wait.
Fade was in
One is on me.
One's on site.
Spike.
One's on him. There has to be one here. There has to be one here. This whole path is clear. We don't even have to worry about it. That's the point I was going to make there. They have to be on site and they have to be close to Yuta. That's what he's calling.
Fade
Planted.
is
Right.
hookah, fade is hookah.
He
Alright.
smoked off. Arena.
So can't be an elbow right now. Can only be on site.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. Last one was hookah, I think.
And then that, yes, then you make the point. Knife
Could've
out.
moved.
Was hookah.
One shot, we done short. Maybe long. maybe
Hook is
side.
clear officially at this point.
No hookah.
Elbow maybe? Oh, long.
Good.
Nice.
Switch up, boys.
Okay. This round, egos of death of players. I think you end up playing a slightly different angle. I think it might be on truck this time. I say I prefer this angle over the one that you just did.
Yeah.
That's a good spot.
I either play Chuck or... Yeah, no, I do play Chuck, but I die because of the Reyna blind, and then I go to shoot it and don't... Or I have to leave because of the Reyna blind.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Get out of my way.
Smoking in.
Rena's doing a really good job of isolating you out.
They're out. Oh my...
Okay. Let's just see what's happening here.
Oh, they're already in.
Okay.
Right.
You take
And
the
then-
shot,
Nice.
and then you re-peek with still being in animation. And you're like, I need to get this kill, I need to get this kill, I need to get this kill. Stay here. Stay here. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the emotional peak that you pointed out from the guy in lamps again.
Yeah.
Smoking in.
It could have been. Could have been.
Oh, they're already in.
It's also not realizing what's happening. If you're checking your mirrors. 5v4. Sure, you're in this corner. That's okay. Just stay alive. Stay right here. Stay right here. And wait for your teammates to start moving on to site. Then you peek
Oh
out.
my god, what?
When they're not going to be staring at you
Yeah.
the entire time.
Smoking.
So like that one round I was 30 HP. So like just playing time, waiting.
Yeah,
And then-
choose life. Stay alive.
Mhm.
Choose life. And that's a really tough one, right? I've dealt with a lot of teammates that had this problem. This is very common, right? You think I gotta get frags, gotta do this, gotta do that. No, you don't have to do anything. When you're up numbers, you don't have to do anything. You let them do the move first. Once they plant the bomb, that's when you start making your move, right? Or
Right.
once your teammates start taking some fights, then you take a peek. Because remember, I always say, players in this game and in games like this in general are like cats. When you start dangling something in front of them, they go, "Ooh, look at me! Look at this! I want to go after that thing!" Right? It's like a laser you shoot into the wall. The cat will just, disregarding all of its health, it'll just run after that friggin' laser and just try to attack it. Right?
Yeah. Mhm.
As soon as they start shooting, I guarantee you this Reyna takes his eyes off of heaven. That's when you peak. Your higher chance of winning that fight at that point, because they're going to be looking at someone else, not looking at you, right?
They're playing like a 2v1
You can get
instead,
Yeah.
or like, right.
Take the fight that's going to be more advantageous for you. Don't force a fight that you don't have to. Because you take that shot on Reyna, Reyna immediately, if you're Reyna, what are you doing as you're moving into pocket? You're looking up at heaven. You have your crosshair placement right where you're going to peek out on. He's going to be able to hit that shot. You're at a higher rank now, right?
Right.
You peek 10s, he shoots you in the face. Don't give him that option.
So have usage.
Yeah.
One enemy
Okay, okay,
remaining.
that's a long, that's a long.
You run them over on this round, so glad we were able to talk about this a little bit more. This next round is where we're going to start talking about some life lesson stuff. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
going to be the truth compass. And there's some rounds you just aren't going to win. It's that simple. You're just not going to win them. This is, no matter what you do, it's not going to happen. What we need to do is approach this round with humility, but also approach with it with a level of, I'm very impressed with what they did, right? Like, they do a
Yeah.
really good execution here. We just got to credit them for that. And if we had more rounds on defense where they're doing things like this, then we would need to discover a different way of countering them as a team. That's the only way you beat something like this. This was really well coordinated. We just got to give them their props at this point. So watch what happens.
Focus now. Teleport's ready.
We only have Brim on B, by the way.
Don't worry about what Brim's doing, by the way. Just focus on you.
Teleport's broken.
Enemy spotted.
If you need Brim's smokes, you need to mention, hey, you know, Brim, we could really use you here. Throwing this stuff, okay?
Eight all day.
Oh my god.
That is
Okay,
all.
smokes come out.
Bro, gap on wall. Allah bin belanızı versin. Yeter artık. Can you revive me?
Enemy trap.
Oh, he's up
I
top.
think it was, no, it was the next round, actually.
Top.
Not this round.
So bad wall.
Spike planted.
So what was what?
Okay, you're in a 2v3 situation, you need to force the issue. Try to fight them.
Get the numbers advantage back.
Enemy spotted A.
Right between the eyes.
Great patience. Great patience. Oh my god. Okay, you see Reyna? Where are you gonna go? Cover. Get the
Yep.
hell out of there. Try to live. Okay, you're dead for sure.
Last player
Good.
standing.
You made the best move you could. He needs to tap the bomb. Or he needs to Brim. Yeah, there you go. He needs to stem you himself. Okay, cool. So this is the round I was talking about, where it's the truth compass protocol. Okay. And this is so well executed by them, right? Let's watch what they do here, chat.
Anyone have funds?
Yay, nay,
Merci.
maybe.
Yeah, bro.
There's an issue already.
Forgot to place a trip, and then I went to go do it, even though I probably shouldn't have.
Let's go back. I missed this part.
We don't shoot the blind.
Last round before the
Yeah.
Oh, were you giving him a little bit of shit here too?
Yeah, because I think at the
the
beginning of the round,
blind, please.
I asked them
I
to
have-
shoot the blind,
Okay.
and they didn't do it. And then I have to fall off because of it.
Beacon down. Shoot the blind, please.
Okay. So
And then mid,
yeah.
and
okay.
then mid round, they were arguing, so that also made me mad.
Fair enough. You can't control them, mute them. But what you can do in this moment, in the beginning,
enemy remaining.
is
Last
you can
player
ask,
standing.
it's like, say, hey, you know, do you mind shooting these Reyna blinds if they're coming out? Because I'm going to be opping this angle, right? If they don't do it, they don't do it. Let it go. You can't control every little thing, but if you can work on those small little comms later on when you're actually playing the real game, teammates will do that for you. It's good to be able to practice those skills. Don't worry about the results. The result will come.
Don't shoot the blind.
Last round before the switch.
So
Silently
don't.
sing. Don't be cheap.
Okay, so this round, Truth Compass.
Rain, is there anything you can sell so you can buy me?
So you went from that's funny. That's the funny part. You went from shoot the blind to hey, can you guys buy me something? They're probably like fuck you.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, let's watch what happens. So this was their first little mistake because I think you have 30 seconds to really get this all set up for yourself, right? And I think you were just too invested emotionally at this point to really set yourself up for success. So this trip is not set up and you're not in the right position for it. Now they're going to be running in. And you're like, okay, well, let me see if I can try to get back into this position and help out, but it's too late. This is where I would say you probably need a TP at this point. Your Reyna's done for. Again, this is another situation where you could have called out saying, hey, Brimstone is there. So I think this round here, now from rewatching it again, the reason why you lose it is by phase. You're pissed off from the last round. You're too worried about what happened there with Reyna blinds and stuff like that. And you're not focusing on staying present, right? This is an important piece because if you're not present in the exact moment when buy round starts, you're not set up for success in this particular round. Let's watch this buy phase again real quick.
Shoot the blind, please. I asked you guys to shoot the blind. We don't shoot the blind.
Last round before the switch.
Spend everything. Don't be cheap.
Is there anything you can sell?
Yeah, by the time it's like 10 seconds in, this should have been done. Godfather's like,
yeah,
emotional damage. Yeah, so true. This should have been done a lot sooner.
Yeah, bro.
There's no comms on the Brimstone ults, so Reyna's gonna be an idiot and just sit in that same spot where he ults all the time. Done for.
Yeah.
Okay, then they have that. Perfectly executed. You should be like, damn, that was awesome. Wow, way to go.
Yeah.
Right? That should be the immediate response is like, oh, that was exciting. I want to watch that round over again, right? Let's see how you respond real quick. Go ahead. You're gonna say something?
I think I sigh after here, but I think sometimes I do. It's like, oh, that's a pretty damn like good shot, or it's like a good execute. It's good util usage. I do sometimes, like when I'm better in a mental position.
Do it more. Do it more.
Planted.
You get into these mental positions because you have a certain expectation of how the events of the universe should roll out around you. But you have no ability to control every single element of this game. It's not fair for you to think that way, right? So you have a setting in your head that's saying it's got to be this way, but it can't always be that way. And rounds are not going to be going your way all the time. The point of confidence really is understanding that not everything will go your way, right, all the time. But you need to know in yourself that you're a good player and things will come around. Sometimes you're just not going to win a particular round, right? Let's see how you react to this. Okay, so there's a deep breath, deep sigh.
Last player standing.
And it's okay to deep sigh. I don't mind a deep sigh because that might actually like center you a little bit as long as the breath is like a positive sigh, right? So it's like breathing out and then refocusing yourself. There's even a tonality in the sigh, like the fuck my teammates, right? The entire time you're thinking fuck my teammates, right? Probably along those lines. Like this could have happened, this could have happened. But what is the protocol here, right? Because at some point you're going to say this. I think you said it here. Listen to this.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, you say. Right?
Yeah.
That was your immediate response. Now, is it ridiculous? Because for me, and you just said it yourself, you were super impressed with everything that was done there, right? So
yeah.
Here's my line of questioning for you. This is the truth compass. The first question I'm going to ask is, are we confusing our feelings for facts? We feel it's ridiculous, but is it actually ridiculous? Yes or no?
No, it's not. I think there though. I think I misused the word because at the same time I think I was thinking, oh, that's absurd, but I was like also impressed with it, but I was also mad. It was like a mixture of emotions there.
It came off for me with how you said it. It came off with me like, this is stupid. This is stupid. And it looks like you were looking to blame something for it more than anything. That's the way it felt to me. Okay. And it's not wrong because listen, how many people have sat you down and talked about, you know, the words that you're using that's feeding into your emotional state? Probably not many people, right? So this is a new thing for you. And it's more so right now to identify this stuff because we want to eliminate it as a threat to your progress as a player, right? So it's totally fine. You're totally okay with that. It's totally okay to be in that state, right? Just be honest with yourself at this point. You were not in the greatest mindset. You were kind of tilted from the last round. Things were kind of starting to snowball a little bit for you, right? That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Happens. Okay. So is it possible we're confusing our feelings for facts right now because we were a little bit emotionally sabotaged here? You say yes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the next question then is it possible you might have judged the situation too soon? On retrospect, after looking at this, is it possible you judged it too soon?
Of course.
Yeah. Now that you've looked at it, you're probably like, oh yeah, there was definitely a lot of things that were within my control that I could have definitely fixed. And I just didn't notice it at the time. So
Yeah.
this is the point, right? Because we immediately get angry. You look at the Fakey TikTok where he shot that friggin' result. That person line of sighted that result, right? And his immediate reaction was to lash out at that person, right? But
yeah.
in this state, he didn't realize he prejudged the situation. He's like, I should have killed him, but in reality, he shouldn't have killed him. Right? So judging too soon is often what happens when we react. We react too soon to something because we're a fool of feeling. We felt we should have had something happen, but it didn't happen. Right? So now we're upset about it. Right? And that's not fair for yourself. So is it possible we aren't considering the full story? That's my next question. 100%. We're not considering, what these two European players were communicating, what they wanted to do. We're not considering the other players in our team. We're not considering the fact that there's 5 people on the other team that want to do a certain execution, that are going to be doing all these different things. Is it possible that we didn't make all the right moves or the right comms? 100%. You didn't set up your trip properly. You didn't have a buy set up all the way. You didn't communicate that Brim had the ult. All these different things. It's possible, 100%. Now, go ahead.
Staying on top of a round plan during buy phase, right?
Yeah. Like, at the very least, in ranked, you should be communicating what the threats are if you don't have a round plan. At the very least, communicate what your threats are, okay? Now, my next question for you, knowing all of these things, what would it take for you to change your attitude about this round? And it could be anything. What do you think would give you more of a positive light on this round? And something that I can grow from?
I think learning from how I died, right? I think that would be the biggest thing, honestly. Like, just looking at how I died and then appreciating the fact that it was a good use of Fade haunt.
Yeah. I think also changing your mindset on when a round is lost, it's not lost, it's a round learned, right? You need to go into these games thinking, how can I best learn from this game, right? Losing is a great teacher. Failure is a great teacher, right? So every time you lose a round, you should actually counter with excitement. Great, I have an opportunity to learn something new. I wonder what I did wrong here. Let me look it over in my VOD review. I'm going to write down a note and say, I want to look at round 16. I want to look at round 12. I want to look at round 8, whatever it is. And I want to really take in the lessons that this universe is trying to give me, because I didn't get the full picture here. Something went wrong that I didn't realize. What could it have been? There was a number of things. I didn't calm. I didn't have a pre-round routine. I didn't have a buy phase set up for myself. I wasn't in the right position at the right time. What caused those things, right? So having that change your attitude, I think that would be the best way to look at it, right? So the enslaving story here is that this is ridiculous. How can we change this into an empowering truth for you? I can learn and grow from this experience. That's how you should have said it. Not, this is ridiculous. You say, I can learn and grow from this experience. This is like a mantra, right? Anytime something negative happens in the game, you just need to have a mantra that you've already preset in your head. I can learn and grow from this experience. I'm a player with infinite potential, right? If I'm a player with infinite potential, it doesn't matter if something doesn't go my way. I know that I can learn and grow from the experience altogether. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So knowing that you can be a better player from learning from your deaths, that kind of thing. Even like round losses.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Now, another way that you could have looked at this too, another option, because I want to give you all the options. So you get to this position, right? Why not sit in the smoke?
I don't think I was thinking of it as a possibility.
It would have been a quick thought. It would have been a quick thought.
Yeah.
Right? But the more that you think about this, right? I have a rule that I always say is that smokes are your friend when you are down numbers, right? You would know Rain is dead as you're TPing. And if you have that protocol in your head, you might say, oh, I can stay in here, right? Totally fine. That was a split-second decision. But that was the first thing that came to my mind when you TP'd after looking at this. I'm like, smokes are your friend. Stay in them, right? So if you have that in your head, in the future, you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go in there. Okay?
Yeah. I think currently I'm just hardwired to, like, after I TP, it's like more of getting out because I've made all that noise. They know where I am. I just want to, like, reposition.
Yeah.
I think that is a good option to reposition and kind of try and play them off. But I also wasn't sure when they deployed the smoke, so like I don't know. I tend to get caught with my pants down when I'm playing inside smokes. That's another thing that I was slightly worried about too, I think.
Well, the mindset that I always have is that if we're down numbers, we need to do something
To even the field.
Exactly. And we need to do something that might otherwise be seen as risky in order to make a play to make something happen, right? So even if you get caught with your pants down in the smoke, okay, so it's a 3v5. You made a play there to try to make it a 4v4 or even a 4v3, and that's fine. So risk versus reward, you're already statistically losing this round because of 5v4. Can you still win the round? Yes, you can. But you might as well make a play to see if you can make something else happen, right?
Yeah.
So, let's go to attacking side. Chewy Source, words are a powerful thing. What would it take for you two is a powerful question template. JPC. Yeah. I credit Brendan Fox, my life coach, for all this stuff. So a lot of the stuff that he's taught me, I'm like, oh, I can so use this within coaching. Hello, Juju. How's it going? Good to see you. Welcome in. I guess empathy is a powerful tool to rank up in this game. Yeah. Knowing how the opponent feels is important. That was a little risky there, my friend. Little risky.
Yeah. I do that. I need to break that habit. That's something I've been trying to work on.
Yeah, a little risky. But you know,
I actively put thought into it.
Always, so the way you want to think about it, always face the enemy. If you're facing the oh shit line, always the crosshair placement there. It's simple stuff. And the other piece is whenever you are trying to pull out your utility or do anything like that, make sure you're fully behind cover. You're in the safe zone.
Right.
I think you mentioned there's another little piece here. The words that you feed yourself, someone said it in chat, the words that you feed in yourself, let's see, how do you say it? There's a way that you said it was really good. Words are a powerful thing. Where did you say it? Someone said it in chat. Yeah, I guess words are a powerful thing is what I read. But the words that you say to yourself can affect you so much, right?
Yeah.
It's the way I like to think about it is like you have a mental diet, right? And you have a nutritional diet. So let's say, for example, you were to eat McDonald's every day. You'd probably start feeling like shit over time, right?
Right.
It's no different than if you're to tell yourself you're a shit player over and over and over again. Eventually, you're probably going to live that thought, right? So
yeah.
In this moment here, you mentioned something. Listen to this.
I really gotta start dodging this map.
I really got to start dodging this map, right?
Yeah.
How about we solve the riddle of this map? I really got to solve the riddle of this map. This map is giving me a good challenge.
Yeah, that's actually something I put down for my notes before the session. It's like looking at these kinds of things as learning opportunities. So something I came in to think about here is like letting the map dictate my performance, and like kind of looking at the scoreboard and thinking numbers are like ways to dictate how I play.
Yeah.
Most hated.
Most hated map.
That's never a good time.
It's never.
I
a
said
good-
it coming into the session too. I mean,
Is it never a good time on this map? Is it never a good time?
it's absolutely not. I think I have like a 20% win rate on this map, and it's like horrible.
So 20% of the time it's a good time,
I'd like to make that number around 60.
but 20% of the time right now it's a good time.
Yes.
So it's never a good time. There is good
Yes.
times on it. You had good times on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't tell yourself lies.
I think those good times though, they come when I get carried though. I think.
You've had good times on this map, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't tell yourself it's never a good time because you've had good times on this map, all right? Don't tell yourself lies. This is the point I'm
Yeah.
trying to make. The words that you feed yourself, right? If you're feeding yourself bullshit and you're eating bullshit, well, it's probably fucking bullshit, right? Right?
Yeah. There's the possibility of it being a good time. Yes.
All set up.
Crez Debray, I have to do it for every single rank, every single student that comes in, but I will have it set up eventually.
I'll take that eagle.
It's in the tube, no TP.
Spike down B.
I like you do. That was really good. You committed to that fight. That was a big, important fight to win.
Both pushing.
One enemy remaining.
I think you could have pushed elbow here too.
Wait,
It's
I
fine.
saw it, it's fine.
Last player
Here it-
standing.
It all works out at the end of the day. What comes in the wash? I used to think
Yeah,
the same. Sorry, go ahead.
I think at the time it was like
I see.
I gotta help my guy get the
I
just
saw
palm
him.
down. I wasn't really
No,
thinking
I
about
think
getting
I
the
saw
flank
him
there
on
from
that.
elbow. Because some of the time when I do that, it's kind of too late. That's another thing. Like I said earlier, it's like trying to learn how to do those lurks and like the timing of those. Because sometimes I get cut off.
It wasn't necessarily needing to lurk or push through CT. You could just held the elbow at that point. That's what
Oh,
I was
yeah.
thinking.
Did you get bounced?
I used to think the same about Breeze initially, but when I roamed a bit in custom on the map, I learned a lot of tricks and actually improved a lot. Good mindset to have, Godfather. Good mindset to have. Let's give you a clap. Okay. This round's a good round. That's all I said. Let's see if there's anything bad in it.
I'll be playing shorties in hookah.
That's a good call. See, your team's also announcing threats that are possible, which is really good. So you need to start doing that too. Announce the threats at the beginning of the round to remind people. If they ignore it, they ignore it. The point is you made that call, and it's a good habit to get into for when you get on a team.
Alright, I'm gonna put smokes down.
Remember, smokes are not your friend when you are not on an eco. When they're on an eco, smokes are their friend. There could
Yeah, it's
very easily be someone walked in here. What's that?
It's a form of concealment, not cover.
Yeah.
Chamber
Yeah.
TP.
It's technically, I like to consider it technically a wall, unless you're playing against swag. Back in the day, you put down a smoke and the guy would just run right through it. Stewie 2K, another guy would just run right through it, right? He would just break the rules. But
Yeah.
But in this game, whenever they have even guns, it's safer to assume that it's a wall. Whenever it's an eco round, then they're going to use it as ways of gaining ground and create nutty fights on you, right? Or ratty nutty fights.
Nice. Just playing for one. Right here.
It didn't go well for him, but that was actually a decent fight angle for him to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molly themselves.
You can call elbow now
Yeah.
I'll
for your
do one.
teammates. Good.
One enemy
Elbow
remaining.
one.
Could be elbow.
Nice.
Could be CT. You saw Brimstone last in this position, tossing out Molly. You'd say threats are he's probably in elbow or he's probably in CT. The next threat that he could possibly be in is in that smoke. Let's see where he is.
Probably in the smoke. I think Jet dies, right?
Long.
Oh, no.
Pushed elbow.
You all did.
Right.
But that was a possibility, right? And you knew that from seeing the Brimstone tossing his Molly that way that he did.
Yeah, and I heard him, but I think I do that a lot in round. I kind of get distracted and focus on like my crosshair instead of like what's going on around me. And I think I need to find a balance of that.
What you need to do, and I think it works the same way with a lot of people that deal with communicating in game. First of all, where's your push to talk?
E.
E?
T.
T. Okay, so what button are you, what finger are you using? Your pointer?
I think it's my thumb.
Your thumb. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're going WASD, I'm assuming, and then you're reaching up with your thumb to touch T.
Well, my thumb rests on G.
Your thumb rests on G. Okay.
I play at a 90-degree angle, so I kind of like my thumb's more upward on the keyboard, and I can reach the whole way down to J and get like that set of 12 keys easily.
Okay. Well, if it works for you, that's fine. But if you can't go into a death match and press that button as you're swinging, calling 3, 2, 1, swinging this, 3, 2, 1, swinging this, swing with me, stay with me, da 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 da, doing action comms like that, then you need to change that push to talk key. So make it more accessible so that you don't have to think so much. Because a lot of the times whenever someone says, I don't have the ability to press that button, or I'm thinking too much, I'm focusing on my crosshair too much, is because it's too damn inconvenient for you to press that button. Usually more often than times.
Oh,
So
yeah. I meant like I wasn't thinking actively about their position. I was more worried about my crosshair instead of like listening for footsteps and that kind of thing. That's what I meant. I didn't mean like I couldn't comment.
I know what you're saying, but the point being is that when you are focusing so much on the crosshair and not thinking about communicating at all, a lot of the times it's because it's inconvenient, right? I could be wrong, right? So the point being is that there's two things. You either get used to pressing that button and you go into a death match and you press that button as you're peeking things and work on your communication within the death match. And if you find yourself saying, well, you know, it's a little bit inconvenient to press that button, then maybe I need to arrange it in a different position so that it feels a little bit easier and natural for me to press that button while I'm swinging and communicating. Okay?
Yeah.
There'll be times when I'm... Go ahead, Demise.
Yeah, T's been my push to talk for 5 years now, I think.
Okay. Well, if it works for you, that's great. I would go into a death match and practice doing it.
Just keep my thumb down on that key.
Yeah, keep your thumb down on the key and then swing things and communicate, press the button like you're gonna calm what you're gonna do, your action comm. So you see my action comm videos on TikTok?
Yes, I think.
You need to be communicating like that. You gotta be communicating like that. And
Alright.
and saying like, okay, I'm swinging this, I'm swinging CT, I'm swinging that, stay with me, action comms, all that good stuff. So you should be able to have it accessible at all times.
Right.
So I would go into deathmatch and practice that specifically. I don't care about your kill death. I don't care if someone's posted up shooting you or they're crouching in a corner. I don't care about that shit. Practice. Say like right now, I'm swinging sand, swing with me. 3, 2, 1. Right? I'm swinging hookah. Get with me. Swinging. Here it comes. Corner clear. Moving in sight. Jumping in. Support me. Jumping. Bait me. I'm coming in. He's long.
Nice. Yeah. I'm playing for long.
Right? Like, that kind of comms need to happen all the time, okay?
Right.
Need to happen all the time. So if you cannot press the key button that often, then it might be an issue where you need to change up where you're positioning that.
Yeah, I think I just need to get in the habit of calming things like that, because I don't often do it. I do it before we get into the fight, but then during the fight it falls apart. Because then I'm focused on individual play then instead.
Yeah, and in a team atmosphere, that is a no-go at all. Like, you need to be calming all the time. It needs to be like second nature that you're saying these things, right? In Discord, I'm just on voice activation, so I'm just talking constantly, which is easy. But when I'm in game, I need to also practice that so that when I'm in ranked environments, I could still press the button and have that as a muscle memory in my head, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say that your comms in this game, and I am a very tough critic when it comes to comms. What would you think out of 10 you'd give yourself for your comms this game? Knowing all the stuff we just talked about.
He's lying.
I'd say it's 6.
I'm gonna give you a 1 out of 10. Okay.
Oh.
I do it out of love. I do it out of love. Okay. And
Yeah.
Sooner or later, Demise, you and I, we're gonna play a game together, and you're gonna see exactly what it is that I'm calling, and you'll be like, now I get it. Right? Now you'll understand why I'm doing 1 out of 10. We're gonna do 10 mans in there as well, and I will be like, hey, Demise, what you didn't say anything. What's going on? What's happening over in your site? Right? I'll remind you as you're playing the game. Right?
Yep.
Your raw adjustment, don't get it twisted. Your raw adjustment is 10 out of 10. That is not something you need to work on. Okay? Your crosshair placement, probably an 8 out of 10. Your ability to win fights and adjust to fights, 7 out of 10. Sometimes you peak when you're not really should be peaking, right? Or committing to a fight when you shouldn't be committing to that fight, right? But your comms right now is the big piece that you really need to work on as a teammate, because I'm not just here to make you a higher ranked player. I'm here to make you a good teammate. That's the big key. Because this shit right here that we're playing, like I say before, it's a skeleton version of what the actual game really is. When you start playing on a team, you'll be like, now I'm having fun. Now I understand how this game is, how it goes.
Right.
It's
Yeah, and I think I get a skeleton version of that when I go into practices with my team and like kind of scrims and whatnot. It's like, it's like part way there, but it's not all that there because we haven't really played all that much, and so we can't really work on those things. And it's something I definitely like to look at and try and experience.
Close right.
I think
yeah, you need a good team environment. That's the big key. I think you need a good team environment to realize what you're missing.
Yeah, of course. And it's something I wanted to do in Siege because I used to go into like 10-man tournaments, or like you get random teammates for tournaments and it'd be balanced or whatever. And it was something I enjoyed, but it never got to develop into like a full team and like actually going in and practicing.
Razzle Gaming says with voice attack, you can have it press a button when your mic activates. It's kind of cool. So like it programs you to press your push to talk button in game. Is that what you're saying, Razzle? If that's the case, that's pretty solid. I would love to have that, because then I never have to worry about pressing my button. Eliminate a thought in my head.
Is that a third-party tool that's allowed? Because I know you can get banned for stuff like true stretch res and whatnot.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never heard of it before. I'm assuming it's probably not allowed.
Yeah.
Because you're taking, you're taking a process out of your mind, right? Because if you're taking a process out of your mind, it's less of you having to think about the actions, right? That's slowing down your mental process to like do something else. That's why voice activation is so cool, because all I gotta do is talk and I don't have to think about pressing a button. But while I'm in game, I have to press a button.
Yeah.
How the mods going? They're amazing, Yeti. Yeti, do you play Chamber, right? I was considering maybe having you come in here and help out. Yeti's one of my former Radiant students.
Smoking.
Careful, Garland.
It's an app for voice activated commands. Okay, I'm not really sure. We'll have to talk about that after, Raz, just so I can see what's going on with that. Okay, so this round is round 17. This round you run into a stack.
Yeah. It's unexpected and they get guns.
This is a macro thing. This is going to require your team to do certain things to be able to acquire information. If you're to look at your comp right now,
we don't have an initiator.
Yeah.
So we can't get information.
That's the problem, right? This is a comp problem more than anything. So you have nobody who can take information. Go ahead.
I don't really complain about it because I insta-lock chamber like a duelist or something. So, and I don't ask for those things because then people get mad at you for asking for it after insta-locking.
Yeah, this was primarily just a comp problem.
Yeah, and
These new friends of ours are not too friendly.
pray that we don't go this side that chamber's at.
All
A
right.
gift.
This is where a meltdown happens, I think.
Rimalt and then one off fatal. Just play a default.
Good. So you just did it. You just did the whole like there have brimalts, It's like definitely good to continue doing that. Practice that.
Yeah, I think with the tone of my voice too, you can hear me kind of like I'm already starting to get down, and it's a close game. It's still winnable, but I'm already there. Like, it's just lost, and you can hear it in the tone too.
And that was the point I was going to make in the next round, because yeah, your tonality is definitely down, and it's definitely something you want to be working on. So we talked about the friendly communicator, to start using that a little bit more. Smile a little bit more when you're talking. Open your mouth a little bit wider when you're talking. Those things help a lot, okay? Now, it's 9-8. You guys are winning. There's no need to have any kind of negative tonality. Ryan Ryan Damn Fillin, how's it going? Thank you so much for following. Appreciate you. If you have any questions, feel free to fire away in the chat. Love to hear from you. Okay, so this round, let's see what happens. I said, take the money and run. Take the money and run.
The hunt begins.
I'm going for plant. One's in there. One's in there.
That's a very interesting ult, because now they're forced on the site here.
I'm going for
Yeah.
plant. I got Molly. I got Molly.
Their Brim definitely used his ults very aggressively
Oh, I
this
gotta get
game,
out. Fuck.
and more for a positioning standpoint.
Okay, so it's so funny, because this is actually very similar to the situation we had when you were on defense, right? You're controlling the lane right now. You're controlling the lane. They don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
They have to worry about it, but you can just stay alive. You can literally just play back right now and just hold this whole position, and they're going to be constantly worried about showers. So you're giving them pressure here, right? You're giving them pressure here without you doing anything. You have passive impact. So as soon as you peek out, go ahead. You want to say
I
something?
think I become a goblin here and get greedy for the kill.
Yeah.
Not safe.
Praying for that they're like not expecting to hear him shoot at me. I get the kill and then I just overheat.
Get the kill, fall back. 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 Right? Not every round has to be a TikTok clip. It doesn't have to be, right? This is the death of a lot of really good plays and a lot of round wins and losses, right? You don't have to chase here. What's the number situation?
4v3.
You have the advantage. You have bomb site control. This is all really good. You know, say just put her wall up. Jet's gonna put the bomb down. You just stay alive, control this pathway. And now if you even just like hold back here, they cannot cross to that wall until they've crossed your line of sight. That's another piece.
I think I died to the guy Heaven here, no?
No one Heaven, you chase the Jet in the corner.
What's he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't care if he ran across your screen spraying. That was a fight that you should not have taken. That is divine intervention. That is the universe shooting you in the face for something you should not have done. Right?
It's
That's
the
why
other
you
team
died.
punishing me for a stupid play.
Exactly.
Spike drop.
The universe is a very, very wonderful teacher, and it punishes you on the things that you should and should have done.
Get kills.
Okay, so listen to what your line of communication is here. Okay?
Oh, damn, he just ran guns you.
Nothing.
Spike
No, no,
drop.
no. You say stuff.
Oh.
Rose.
Can we just plant,
Hey,
please?
get kills. Get kills. Get kills. Get kills. Get kills.
One enemy remaining.
That's on
Last
left side. Yeah,
player
Rose.
standing.
If you want, you can revive one.
Your duty is not over.
Last player standing.
What the fuck?
Spike down
What
A.
shower?
Sick.
Bomb's
The
backside.
way the bomb went on the other side. Oh, is one kid left? Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. My bad.
All good. Nice. Yeah, I know you won it. Don't worry.
Was that an ugly round? Yes, 100%. Let me ask you a question. Did we win the round?
Yes.
Okay. Anything that was supposed to happen, it just wash it at that point. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. We got the W. Okay, we got the W. It's kind of like my dad back in the day. You know, I was really bad at math. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat that were like rough at math, right? And anyways, I got home and I had a 99% on one of my math tests. I was like livid. I'm like, holy shit, I don't know how this happened. There must be a mistake, whatever. So anyways, I go up to him like, Dad, look, I got 99% on my math test. And the asshole says, where'd the other 1% go? Like, dude, what are you doing? We got a victory here. Like, why are you pissing on my parade, right? So
Yeah.
you won the round. Let it go, okay? Every round is a brand new game, okay? Watch what happens.
It's alright, we still got the dub, you know.
Yeah, I
It wasn't
know.
safe.
It's just like, why don't we just play it?
It was not safe at all. It was hella. Yeah, I didn't think it was safe either. I think he was gonna get fucked.
I mean, you could tap it though, no?
He did.
And then I kind of break down the round. I do that a lot, and I'm trying to work on that kind of thing because I know it's definitely not good for the mental of my teammates. I see it impact performance as well.
Every round's a brand new game. Okay, it's kind of
Yep.
like what happened here is like you just went out on a wonderful date with a beautiful woman, or man, whatever you're into, right? You went on a date with a potential partner and went extremely well, but you wish that the partner took the bill at the end of the day. It's like, dude, relax. It was really good. Let's just like next time they can pick it up for you, okay? Whatever.
Pick and choose your wins, right?
Yeah, you had a win. You had a W. Just like.
Yo, let me get a buy. Let me get a buy.
It's
Yeah,
like
and then
I also communicate this as like it's like you're swimming through a pile of diamonds, but you're trying to find that one piece of shit in it. You know, like why are you looking for the piece of shit?
yeah, and team mental's up, and I'm just like still like thinking back. It's like the first half 5-7, I'm not doing great, that kind of thing, and that's just something I'd like to work on.
Nice shot.
So you were probably doing that because of how you peaked, and you were upset with how you played that round, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a factor. And
Happens a
then-
lot.
Yeah.
I've seen it in a lot of VODs where someone does a really bad peak and they get picked off, and then all of a sudden they're trying to like, help everyone else win the round because they're
Yeah.
pissed off at how they played, right?
And then they want to make up for what they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Just the best thing you can do is just get ready for the next round, get ready for the next game that's going to be played. Every round is a brand new game. All right. Sketch, unrelated to the VOD, but what is your opinion on stretch res? So I had Trippy come into the stream, not the stream, the Discord a couple weeks ago. And we're teaching seminars, guys. So hop in the Discord if you haven't already, because we're going to have free and paid seminars in the Discord. So we're going to have some pros coming in. I've been working on trying to get Aaron in there. I wanted to get Baby Bay in there, but apparently it's a little unreliable to come in and do that. But we're going to have this next month, we're going to have a all things Breach seminar. So everything you want to learn about Breach. We're going to be going deep diving masterclass on Breach. And we're going to have Joe DeBozo teaching that. So Joe DeBozo is a Radiant Breach player who's just like all Breach all the time. So he's going to be able to give us a lot of really good perspectives. And he's also going to go over his own VODs with us to be able to show what he was thinking at certain times. So there's going to be a lot of really good things coming down the line. So if you haven't already, please do join that. But anyways, Trippy was in the Discord and he was talking about how stretched res will actually limit your I think there was a point he made, it's like limit your ability to have good game latency with the server, I think. So I think it's not a great thing. I can't remember, I'll have to look at it again. But so I said my opinion is don't do it.
Also pretty sure in the game, if you change it to the stretch res like natives in game, it doesn't actually do anything, it just changes the HUD.
Yes, correct.
Spike down.
In other games, stretch res will actually make the person or the enemies look a little bit bigger. So there might be an advantage or unseen advantage from that. But I don't think it happens in this game. I think you're correct on that.
Teleport's ready.
Lütfen, please.
Okay.
Last player standing.
So yeah, the point I was going to make is Demise, the last round you won, so let's just let it go, right? I would say that this convo is a result, or this round loss. Let me see. It
like-
is a result of why we lost this round. But anyways, go
Last
ahead.
player standing.
It's pent up frustration.
Good job, bro. Stay. Stay, okay, just stay.
And that chamber popped off, if there's nothing you can do. And then I think the Jet just gets mad at Sage
I'm
going
so
on site
confused
dying
now.
with Spike. Like, I don't speak whatever fucking language you're talking.
Yeah, this is just the case. So this is not helpful at all. Just mute yourself. Just don't even say anything, right?
Or like even mute the Jet. Because he's been tilted since like round 5, I think.
Cool. Don't let him influence your energy.
What?
Right? Just mute them all. Mute them all.
Wait, who did I turn up there? Did I turn up Sage or the Reyna?
It doesn't matter. They should be all muted.
Yeah. I don't think the Sage has been tilted. That was the Jet. That's even worse.
All set up.
Seven off.
Hello, Zip. How's it going? Welcome
That's
in.
so
1
unlucky.
HP, 1 HP, nice.
Okay. Was that unlucky? Or are you just angry and making silly moves?
I genuinely thought it was like just poor timing, but it could definitely be a silly idea to do that
All set up.
after the possibility of like, because you can get up there before they can even peek you. So like, if I did that before instead, maybe, but then I'm doing it as they have the opportunity to peek me. So hindsight, yes, it definitely could have been, and maybe timing with it could have been much different.
Okay. Let's say that it was an emotion, right? That made you do this and clogged your judgment on making this decision. You know it's a threat. You know the timing. You shouldn't do it. Just hold the angle. What's the difference between you jumping on this box versus you being on the behind the box to hold this angle?
Behind the box, my legs could be covered, but I was also thinking of getting the off angle, jumping on the box.
Okay. But with an op, holding an on angle isn't necessarily a bad thing against a rifle. It's totally fine. I would say that if you're going to do a rifle versus a rifle, having an off angle is probably really good. But having an on angle versus a rifle, not terrible, right?
Right.
Depends on the peeker's advantage, of course. Do you have an escape route if you stay on the ground?
TP.
Right. You also have the box to the right, so you have more escape routes than you would if you were to go on the box, right? So I would say that for you, just stay on the ground here, unless you've been committed at the beginning of the round to jump on that box so that the timing is good for you. Then that is now an eliminated position that you can be on.
Dude, that's so
1
unlucky.
HP, 1 HP, nice.
Last player standing.
Be careful saying those words to yourself too. We go back to mental diet, right? The words that you're feeding yourself, you're gonna start believing it.
Yeah, because then I don't really look at it as a learning opportunity. It's more like, oh, there's nothing I could have done.
Or I was right in this moment. He just got lucky.
Yeah,
Right? Very dangerous mindset to have.
of course.
JPC, always mute for mental. You're probably right, honestly. No game is worth your... I love this. No game is worth your inner peace. If your teammates are aggravating you that much, you're going to hurt yourself more than help by getting worse mental. Yeah, 100%. Just let them be wrong.
I think we're kind of.
It's a really good, it was a really good TikTok that Kaneko gave me, where it was like, it was this older guy walking through the forest, and he's just like, nobody is worth... I gotta find the video. I really need to find this video and just send it to you. But it's like, no conversation point that people will say to you is worth your inner peace if they're wrong. Just let them be wrong. And go about your business.
Yeah, moral high road.
Probably long. He scared you.
You see that?
Good.
I jumped out.
Your packet loss jumps up here.
Yeah,
can see it.
That's why I have it on. I know there's some points like so I play at the college. There's nothing I can really do about it. So like the college internet goes down occasionally, and that's why I have those things on to kind of let me know when that does happen.
Okay. If it's out of your control, then there's no point in
Yeah.
talking about it. But if it is, then I would say, hey, by the way, packet loss.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I've made the IT people here aware about it, and they're trying to work on it. Before it used to be really bad, where it just cut out for like 30 seconds straight. I think the routers get hung up on a dead packet, and then there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next point I'm going to make here. I want to hear what they say because I couldn't hear it when I was at work.
I can ult him, actually, no.
Can you help?
Yeah, I don't have
I
I don't have any.
Okay. You're running naked through New York. That's the protocol. You're running
Yeah.
naked through New York. You had no idea that this site was clear. Absolutely no idea. You made an assumption. You went off an assumption that all 4 players were going to be at B. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was thinking like they've already rotated because I thought I heard one leave. I wasn't sure though. But then I got cut off by a guy playing in U-Haul.
Yeah. You weren't sure. is the key word. You weren't sure. If you are not sure, you must clear with a gun. You are lurking right now. So we've talked about how you struggle trying to find the right times to be moving into sites, all that good stuff. This is a time where, once again, you have impact of being at A. You staying alive is so impactful here. So let's say that there is one person here, and you get into a gunfight, and then all of a sudden you're taking that gunfight, and you fall back, you stay alive, you're in showers. They're now worried about people being on A. So a person who's rotating, who's over here, that you thought would be the last person to rotate, could be pulled back into A site, which means that you're going to force a 4v3 maximum on B site, which is impact for your team.
I think they're also worried about it because I killed the guy there. So that's like, I think it's just a like my train of thought wasn't all there. So like, I'm like, oh, they showed presence A. They're not going to be worried about me because they forgot. Because then I forgot I killed the guy on site.
Yeah, everything that you do has a cause and effect, right? If you kill someone, that person's gonna come one shower, right? There's always going to be a threat that there could be someone shower coming in. But you ran naked through New York, my friend.
Yes.
And you had clothing stores all around you, and you said, no, you know what? I'm going to forget all these clothing stores. I'm just going naked through New York.
You want to hit Lee? Runner's 1 HP. That's right.
Okay, this is the last round that I cover on this one. And the first thing that I'm going to say is, do not calm like this at all. You're going to hear it in a second.
Know that I
Why
am
you
by
didn't
your
have on
side.
Sage? Sage on here, we are here.
I don't have any use or smokes. There's literally 3 people on site. Why the fuck would I jump
That
in?
works.
Sage, just play back. You're getting too aggressive when you die because of it.
No. No. No, 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 no. Cannot stress this enough. Do not, on ranked environments, guide a teammate to doing something different. Let them play.
Right.
Let them play. Right? Even if your intention here is so pure and positive, it can be taken in so many wrong ways, right? I don't know what he ends up saying to you, but he could have lashed out at you here. I can't remember exactly. But at this point, it's just like, you just do not, at all, do not guide, okay? It's never going to end well, okay? I don't care if you're frustrated. I don't care if he's doing stupid shit. You can only control you, and saying things like this will only serve to bring the team down. The player, their own confidence, the player that you're talking about, will also go down. They might start playing more scared, right? Or lash out at you like we talked about, right? So make sure that you keep that as clean as possible.
Great.
You need to just
Well, so he was entering onto site before like the duelist. Is there a way I could word that, like say, instead maybe like, could you wait for the duelist to enter onto site so that you don't die on site with the bomb, or is there just like let that be, don't worry about it?
You could say, hey Sage, I noticed that you were a little aggressive last round. Is there anything I can do to enable you? Do you want to play aggressive this round?
So it's like, hey, could I help you enter onto the site because I noticed you just kind of push on, and you have no support, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you have the right idea. Just keep it, limit the words as much as you possibly can. Like, one of the things that is something that's super underrated is saying, hey Sage, I noticed you were a little aggressive there. Do you want to bait me for a kill this round? Right?
Or okay, yeah. So then I take the role of the duelist without saying, hey, you need to play back.
Yeah. You want to bait me for a kill here? And more often than not, Sage will be like, fuck yeah, I want to bait you for a kill. Who's going to say no to that? Right?
Stat padding, yeah.
Stormwall, if you're naked in New York, I don't know where you're keeping your money. It's true.
I'm Asian.
It's true. Maybe you have your wallet in your hand. Okay, roll the lurker. We have the same situation happening right now. Okay.
Patience.
So, patience. Yes, your role as a lurker is to exist. Just by existing, you have passive impact. This is something that's going to be very important to you. When I ask you what your top takeaways are, I want you to say passive impact. Passive impact is very important for you because it's going to center you on better decision making. Okay. We know. Okay. There's 40 people in here that know you can make good shots. You don't need to prove anything to us. What you need to do is learn how to channel that, control it. It's kind of like you're Superman, right? But you're Superman as a kid. When Superman was a kid, he started developing all his powers. He's like, holy shit, I got laser eyes. He's shooting things all over the place, right? But he didn't have any control over it. Over time, Jonathan and Martha Kent helped him out control it, right? He learned how to do it. That's what I'm doing. I'm your Jonathan and Martha Kent right now. You need to control your powers, okay? Just take your time, be patient. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, there's people close to
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
overextended, okay? You shot your laser eyes, you burnt down the church, everything's bad, right? You need to chill out a little bit, control the laser eyes, okay? Stay back, play the corner. You have passive impact just by living in here. If you stayed here, you had an escape route. You could have been able to peek out on them, maybe take a better fight on the arena. At the very least, you're now looking at a 5v4 situation. You didn't have to push it at all. So take your time. Your time to move into the site is at post plant if you needed to, okay? But you don't.
Right.
You can just control this lane, control this whole pathway in. If someone TP's behind you, free kill. Hide in the corner, let them run in, right?
Yeah.
JPC, I just want to save you from that tornado, Dad. That was the weirdest scene ever. It was probably the worst Jonathan Kent death I've ever seen. It's like, he's like, no, I'm good. I'm going to the tornado, son. Don't worry.
Last player standing.
It's like, but I can move really fast and they can't see me grab you. What are you talking about? Yeah, for the greater good bullshit. So true.
Match point.
Let us see what they have planned.
Okay, and that was the last round that I wanted to cover. Let's see what happens this round. I said good round, so we'll see. But as we're watching this, what were your top takeaways from today?
So looking at the game in a different light, learning from losses instead of like just getting mad at them. Patience existing on the map control, that kind of thing. Muting teammates when they do have the ability to be toxic, and they are doing that. There earlier on, Ecos was exit frags, trying to take Eco. Playing my life, changing up holds on defense, calming util, that kind of thing, asking for util, and then language use, and moving on, and just making inner peace my top priority.
Okay, I love all those things. You missed the one that I really wanted you to cover, and Godfather tried to help you in chat, and he said passive impact. Passive impact.
I thought that was tied in with the map control thing.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give you that. But yeah, passive impact, super important. If you just, the reason why I say passive impact is because, oh, don't do that. Don't do what you just did there.
Jump onto site.
Don't do that. It's just, no. No. How many times, chat, have I talked about this entry? Do not do this. It's not good. Like, no. Do not do that.
I
ever
don't.
again.
Yeah, I don't push shirt, and you could tell just by that.
Yeah. This happens at all ranks. Just stop doing that movement. This is not a good movement. No. Bad. Can't do it. Can't see it. Can't watch it. At any rate, yeah, passive impact, super important. You being alive, super important. Exist as long as you can, right? All important pieces. Yeah, that was pretty much it. There was another one that I want to talk about, but yeah. So I remember what it was. Your comms need to be priority for what you're really focusing on in terms of your learning. I don't care if people give you crap for saying a whole lot of stuff. Just mute them, right? You know better than they do. And the end of the day, we're trying to build you into a better teammate, not a good ranked player. Okay, that will end up coming as a result of you being a good teammate.
Right.
Okay.
Because then if I become that better teammate, then instead of becoming a better ranked player, those losses will eventually like balance out almost.
Yeah, you'll end up winning a lot more games because you're just naturally doing the right things for your team. You're not thinking about, oh, I need to chase after this Jet who's sitting in the corner for another kill. You'll be like, oh, I'm gonna hold on to this showers angle. He's gonna swing me. I'm gonna kill him easily. Right? So it's awesome. JBC, glad I found you. I started playing 2 months ago, and while this is well above my level, and it's been super helpful. Hey, JBC, we're gonna have all different ranks. Actually, we're gonna be doing an Iron Bronze rank next. Actually, I think it's Bronze too. So there's lots of good VODs that are coming along the way. So you'll be able to get that too. All right, sir. Anything else you want to end off on? Was this helpful today? I know that we covered a lot of like, deep things.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is something I needed to hear, and I just didn't. I was trying to think about it. I didn't really know how to think about it, more or less, right? So the way, like, I think this definitely helped me focus on what to improve. So I knew there was a big flaw with my mental. I wasn't sure the root cause of it, because I'd look at games like this, and I wouldn't know why. And I think it is, as you were saying, like those things like where it's almost an ego thing. Like I'm constantly thinking, I was like, oh, this like there's nothing I can do while in game, and then it kind of like solidifies when I look at the VOD or like think back at the game. I don't think that thing. So yeah, it was definitely impactful, and it's something I needed to hear for sure.
I think another really good helpful piece for you that will help take you out of these bad mindsets when they do happen, because it's going to happen. It's going to challenge you. Right, you're going to be more aware of it, but you're not going to be perfect at it yet. It's going to take time for you to get good at controlling your emotions in these moments. But what you can start telling yourself is that when I blame, I stay the same. Okay? When I blame, I stay the same. So if there's ever a moment where, you know, why don't we just plant? Why don't we just plant? You know, or anything like that, don't worry about it. When I blame, I stay the same. I need to find and take extreme ownership over every single moment in the game. What could I have done better? That one round where you had that Reyna, who you could have calmed, you know, 2 or 3 rounds she died to that ult with Brimstone ult, right? You could have said something, right? So it's easy to blame the Reyna for the bad move that she made. It's difficult to take extreme ownership and to say to yourself, when I blame, to stay the same, because I don't want to blame the Arena. I want to find the solution that I could have done. Now, you could go through and do everything right. We saw a really good example of it. You wanted to get the bomb down. Probably textbook-wise, that was the right call. Get the bomb down. But you can do everything wrong and still win the round, right? Sometimes things just happen because they happen that way, and we need to be accepting of that. That's the root cause of confidence. Knowing that sometimes things will not go our way, but we're okay with ourselves and our own mindset, that we know we're a good player, and we know we can bounce back from any negative thing that happens to us. Make sense?
Yes.
Love it. Demise, you're going to go far, my friend, and I can't wait to have you in the 10-mans. There is a team that's trying to be formed in Discord right now with Immortals. You should actually talk to them.
I saw that. I wasn't sure because you're asking for Immortals, and I'm not that there yet. I definitely wanna. I was thinking hitting at this act actually.
Try it out. Just ask them. Say, hey, would you mind trying an Ascendant one and see if you like me? Like they're still learning if they like each other first, right? They haven't even played together yet. So
right.
I think that's going to be a really good piece for you, is to get a good learning environment together with a team, right?
Yeah.
So that would be good.
I think as a team player, I need to learn more than just a chamber, like the occasional KO or something.
Oh yeah, that's another piece then. You need to learn other characters, 100%. If that's the only character you play, yeah, you need to.
Because I think my next closest character is Reyna, and that's back when I played in episode 3, and it's at like 60 hours, and my chamber's at like 160.
Okay, yeah. So expand your roles. Find another role that you enjoy playing, and learn that role.
And then to learn playing those roles, is there a place you recommend learning that, like in unrated or even in scrims, those kinds of things?
Well, scrims is definitely a good place to learn for sure, but I would say that you should definitely, at the very least, get used to playing the characters and feel confident with the characters within a ranked environment, and then move on. That's what rank's for. Ranked is for practicing, right? So expand your knowledge on controllers, for example. Expand your knowledge on initiators. Expand your knowledge on duelists, right? Get some experience.
I'm definitely comfortable in certain like initiators like Sova, Fade, and KO. Like I like those characters. It's just like in ranked, because I want to rank up. It doesn't. I feel like I don't get the impact I like, or I would, as I would with Chamber. And it's just kind of like I want to rank up kind of thing.
You will rank up overall eventually because you understand the roles better. I don't care if you lose your rank because you're playing a different role that you're not used to. I don't give a shit about that. Nobody gives a shit about that, right? You getting better at those roles will better understand how you need to play as a chamber so you can benefit the other teams or the other teammates. That's going to be more important than you holding on to an Ascendant role, right? As far as I'm concerned, until you have learned other roles, the Ascendant is not a true Ascendant yet, right? You got there on a one trick. You need to learn the other pieces.
Because then, so, even, instead, just learning, perfecting a KO and Sova and whatnot, I think that would definitely be useful. Because those are roles I enjoy. It's just, I don't know, when I play them, it just feels like my team doesn't get the same impact as if I played a chamber and let them play the Sova instead.
That might be a story you're telling yourself. It might be a story you're telling yourself,
Yeah,
right?
that may be, but I mean that's been the case the rest of this VOD too. So I mean, it's definitely something I'd have to look more into. I mean, maybe even we can review it, but that's something I'd be interested in learning too.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to work with you on that, and I think that would be a really good opportunity for your VOD for the next one, next event that we do, or next session that we do.
Because I know before that Icebox game that I originally sent you, I played Sova. I was like, well, I don't really want to record this one because it's not the role I play, and I think that could have been more useful too. I'm not sure if I tilted that one or not, but it may have been like that Icebox game. But...
So it was a fun character. Those characters are fun to play. Right?
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's just I get caught with my pants down having a recon dart out trying to play for the team.
You're doing naked through New York or something like that, or you're peeking the oh shit line with your darts. That's probably what's happening.
Maybe. I don't know.
Katana, I'm about to call you, my friend. Actually, I would recommend that you watch this one too, because there's going to be some elements here where we talk about the same thing that we talked about in your VOD, but you're going to get a different perspective. And he's bronze, so it's like seeing a different perspective, different rank, but same stakes.
All right. I mean, sounds good, and I appreciate taking your time today. It was useful. It's much like your TikTok content, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad that you're enjoying it and you're getting some value out of it. And if you have feedback, feel free to let me know. If you have anyone else that would benefit from doing this, referral is the best way that my business grows, all word of mouth. So if you know of anyone that would benefit, anyone you refer to me, I would greatly appreciate. And yeah, stick around on the Discord. There's going to be a lot of good events coming up down the line.
Then one more quick question. It's
Yep.
So to help with mental, I think taking a break would be important. What are certain breaks that you would recommend? So maybe playing a different game. I mean, you mentioned earlier even taking a walk and thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other things that you would recommend?
Working out.
Working out?
Yeah, working out's so important to mental strength and fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a strong body, you have a strong mind, right? You're able to deal with things a lot better. You taking care of yourself, eating proper food, dealing with your stress, right? If you're going into the game with a stressor of some kind, like say you have an exam or something like that, maybe you're not in the best mental state to be taking on ranked. Maybe you should just go play unrated for a little bit if you really want to play, right? So I would say that scheduling yourself is super important, because if you're going to play 7 games in a row, at some point you're going to reach a point of diminished returns. So I'd rather you spend time bettering yourself outside of the game so that you're in a better mental state going into your next day when you're playing your next 3 games or whatever that is. So when I practice, and I will be streaming myself playing ranked eventually again, when I practice properly, I will play a game, I will VOD review the game afterward, after I've made notes on certain rounds that I want to look at again, and then I'll go into the next game with 3 objectives of things that I want to work on. I don't care about the win or loss. I just want to make sure those 3 things are good and perfect. Okay? Then I will VOD review that game. Then I will play a 3rd game, VOD review that one, and then I'll walk away. That's usually when I go hit the gym, or I go get a good meal, or play some music, play my guitar, do something completely different, and get myself in the best mental state possible and prepared as well as possible, so that tomorrow, when I go play those 3 games again, I'm going to have productive hours in learning how to play that game, rather than me just tilt queuing all day.
Right.
Okay?
All right.
So I think those are good points for you. Okay?
Thank you again.
No problem. Go ahead.
You just have a good one then.
All right, Demise. Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Thank you. And have a good one. Stay safe.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
Bye. You
Okay, Demise is done. I need to get a little bit of water, guys. I'm going to put some music on here, and then I will be right back. And then Katana, I am going to call you in just a second, okay? We have 2 more VOD reviews to go, guys. Be right back. Grab some water. Alrighty. We are back. Just had to get a little bit more water there, guys. Okay, so we've got T Katana coming up next, guys. I just want to remind you, anyone who does sub on these streams makes me do push-ups. I think I had a tricep redemption. I don't even know if I have my weights. Let me see if I have weights. It's not a tricep redemption somewhere. Oh yeah, I do. Someone wants me to do kickbacks, I think it was. So I'm gonna do some kickbacks for you guys before I get into this next VOD. Let's do this real quick. Thanks to everyone who's sticking around for the stream today. Appreciate all of you. We got 10 on each side here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's do that side real quick. Then Katana, I'll give you a call. We'll get right into the next VOD review. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you for the redemption. I didn't see who did that redemption. I'll have to look later on, but thank you, my friend. Thank you. All right, let's get into it, guys. We're going to do another one. T Katana, let's give you a call. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I
Awesome.
can hear you. Let's see here. You see this okay?
Yes.
I have to refresh this. Insights has some interesting... Oh, yeah. I didn't want to do Insights. You have the YouTube
Yeah, I did
version.
YouTube.
Perfect.
Yeah. Had to like verify my account and then it worked.
Cool. Was there a really easy process with that, or was it complicated?
Well, yeah, so originally I was trying to upload and it wouldn't, it just told me like process error and it wouldn't tell me exactly. And then someone in the Discord was pretty helpful and they said, hey, you need to verify your YouTube account. So I just Googled how to verify my YouTube account and I just got a direct link and it was just like confirm, you know, do a 2-factor with your phone number and that was it.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, that's what I got too on mine. I didn't realize that was the process. I thought you had to like upload a certain amount of videos to be able to get that, which I was worried about, but it worked out for you. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Katana, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been playing for, what are your struggles, and what are your goals?
Yeah, so a little bit about me. I am a senior in college. Graduate this December.